Welcome to Basketball Heads Live. I'm your host, Glenn Poole Harding. And tonight, we have a very special guest. This basketball head is a product of two legendary high schools. Rice, where he was on the freshman team, and they went undefeated into the championship. Then he transferred to Manhattan Center, where he finished up playing with hip-hop luminaries, Cameron Giles. What you know about that? And my guy, Harlem Legend, Richie Parker. After high school, he attended FIT College, where he led them to a 28-8 record and a national tournament berth, before moving on to play Division I ball at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. After college, this basketball head played professionally on the N1 mixtape circuit, you know, legendary status. Harlem Globetrotters, what you know about that? NBDL, IBL, Iran Super League, ABA, Puerto Rico, China, England. And before that, he was playing summer league with the Knicks. What you know about that? This basketball head had an impact on the New York City basketball scene and still has his fingers on the pulse of the city. If you play NBA Live, just know this basketball head was an associate producer of one of the games. He does motivational speaking, public speaking, connecting with kids and adults all over the world. Let me slow down a little bit because I'm getting a little bit anxious. It's my guy. Nowadays, you can find this basketball head on the sidelines of the Dallas Wings coaching staff and the WNBA. Yes, he's coaching there. That's what we do in New York City. We transition to the next level. How big is that? So, without further ado, help me welcome to the show, New York City Streetball legend, and now the new assistant coach to the Dallas Wings, Coach Tim Gittens.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Yes. You have just stepped into the world of chaos. Where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Everybody get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
Yeah, hello?
You hear me now? I hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Any
that's
feedback?
perfect. Yeah, that's perfect right
Okay.
there. Cool. Right, so, like I said, we've been trying to connect for a minute, man. Like I tell you guys, man, I'll be watching from afar, you know? And when my guy hit me up today, he just reminded me, he was just like, yo, G, that's my guy. Like, I said, okay, you acted the same way when I had Kenny Anderson up here. And then I had Skip up here. He was like, that's my guy. I'm like, he was like, yo, son, this is the New York City of gods. What you expect? That dude, bro, he had all the fancy moves, but he had it under control. And I had to think back. And I said, wow, he's right. You had all the moves like everybody else, but it came with less turnovers. Let's just say that.
Yeah, definitely. And I gave a lot of my coaches headaches throughout the years playing for him. I love Coach Jackson watching. He's just close when I was at the close eyes.
Wow.
He closed eyes all the time. I'd be like, I'm sorry, Coach. I remember like Richie used to cuss me out. And Richie said he never knew when the ball was coming. He used to just run like this.
You have to, listen, when you play with a point guard as good as yourself, as great as yourself, you have to, or you're going to get hit in the head. You know, I remember, this is not even my own horn, but I remember like 1989 running down the court looking at a Ross Strickland pass about to come to and saying in my head, Glenn, you better not mess this up. And that's what got me in the paper with all those big dogs because I caught that pass towards the end of the game. You know, it's just those things that you guys, it come from you guys. We the receivers of y'all guys' greatness.
Nah, I've been blessed by a lot of. I've been blessed to be. I tell everybody go, you know how you became who you were. I said I grew up in the city of gods. You know,
Right.
like you walk like us walking down the street, seeing Rod, Mark Jackson, Kenny A, you know, and then my era of the '90s with a little bit older than me, Jerry McCullough, Terry Rencher, you know, Dave Sweets, you know, Tiny Archibald. You know, we walk around every day. We walk into them, we just say what's up, go to the store, and keep it moving. Like, you know, like, so I tell people all the time, like, when I see New York City God and we give each other homage, they be like, "Oh, Dad, you know him?" I said, "Yeah." Like when he was playing, I was watching him, and when I was playing, either I was playing against him or he was like, "Yo, you shouldn't do that. You should do this, do that." And we never was scared to show each other because I guess it's a mentality thing in New York City. I can show you. I don't care how many times I show you, you can't outdo it better than me. That's how our mentality is. So it don't matter what you say. Like we always go.
Right?
Nah, it's like you gotta prove you can do it. Like I say, I give you a hammer, don't mean you know how to put a nail on the wall.
Right. So I want to jump right into this, man. Who introduced you to the game?
My dad. My dad. I grew up, you know, I'm a Harlem City kid, but my dad was all over with Bob McCullough. Like I used to use my godfathers, Bob McCullough, Goose Tatum. Probably a lot of you probably know all of them. A lot of other guys don't know them. Like Kobe Bryant, Jelly Bean Dad used to come from.
Basketball royalty. Yeah.
Like my dad was the road runner. So he grew up with Ron Thias and all of them. Like so that's that whole crew. There's so many of them. You know, Bobby Hunter. All them guys actually played in the Globetrotters first before them, and they had the team, the Harlem Apollo All-Stars. So, you know, I know it because I was told. Because remember, it was the original helicopter who played with them was like one of my godfathers too. That came out and stayed in my house when I was little. So I was a baby, but I know the name because I talked to them. Like Goose used to run 135th Street Park that people don't know about. Remember that ran that park behind Harlem Hospital, you know, right behind it. So, you know, that like he was there since he was older. Like, so my dad passed when I was young, but I used to go to the park. They always took care of me. So I was able to play in everything and stuff like that. So I actually was scared to play when my dad was around because he was cause I don't know if people remember, like they call it in battlegrounds, all the old schools used to go this Sunday morning and play pickup, and they bring their kids. And, you know, all the kids will play together. So that's how me and Derek D. Threat got close. That's how me and a lot of other guys got close, Sham and all of it, because we all, you know, our older parents that played with like A-Train, Stu Barnett. Like, you know, a lot of these guys might know who these guys are, but these older guys that play.
He'll be on the show soon. Trust me. That's my guy.
He tries to drive them crazy because I used to be on the court mad. He take my ball and play pickup. And I'm like, y'all gonna let me play a game. You know that was the rule back in the day. Young kid had the best ball. You use his basketball, but he wouldn't play.
Yo, let me tell you. I said this a long time ago when I had Laura Milley on the show. Laura Milley is the first New York City basketball Gatorade Player of the Year. And I was saying to myself, to Laura, I said, Laura, back then, the dudes who was good didn't own a basketball.
Facts. For no reason at all.
Like, the little nuances of basketball, I don't think people thought about. I didn't really think about that. Like, yo, I didn't really get a ball until I started playing high school basketball when I needed to work out by myself. And I had a summer job, and I was able to buy that. But before that, no way. We was born the little kid who got it for Christmas.
At one point, I remember going to the park on 141st and the Hill, and I was young. My aunt, I just moved in my aunt. She wasn't really a basketball person. She bought me one of them. People don't know this. Only New York people, old New York people. We went to Woolworth on Broadway. Remember Woolworth?
Damn, you know about that.
And she went in the bucket and got me one of them damn rubber basketballs. And you know when you bounce it, it goes ding. So nobody will play with my basketball. So I was able to sit around the whole time on the court, on the side court, because nobody want to play with it. And then when I got good and upgraded to a newer basketball, everybody wanted to play with my basketball. I'm like, but nobody remember them days. Go get the little rubber basketball and they hit you coming a mile away.
If they hit your fingers, it's a wrap.
So that's how I got kind of introduced to the game. And then like I hid from my dad. So I used to play in the park. I played on 153rd Street. I went to PS 153. I used to play in the park. My dad come, I stopped playing. Because, you know, if he saw me playing, you know, it turns into drills. You know, that old school era, you know, Bob McCullough, they got a ton of drills. So I didn't want to do that. I don't want to play. You know, so, but I was killing all the kids in the neighborhood, but I wouldn't play when he came. I just sit down. And then when he passed, I was probably like 9. He passed when I was like 9. So then I was like, you know, it was like that missing void. And then I started, you know, to be close to him, I started playing the game. And that was kind of the thing that kind of propelled me to, because I heard so many stories about him and what he played and how he helped other people, like Poncho, some Puerto Rican dudes that everybody knows, Streetball, Poncho, and them played in Puerto Rico for the Bronx. Like those, like my godfathers. Like when I played in Puerto Rico, they came out and saw me. So like all of them, like, cause it's like, you know, the basketball's community. Once somebody go, everybody else look out for them.
That's
so
right.
like, so all of them kind of like Floyd, you know, Coach Floyd and all of them, they were my dad, Dana Warner's dad that played Steve College. You know, they all was connected from Battlegrounds playing on Sunday. So whenever I was at, I remember Bob used to show up to my game and be like, "Hey, little Smitty son, don't we turn the ball over?" And like, you know, Bob always said like 2 or 3 words to you and mess you up. I'll be in the middle, can't take the ball out. He just tap me on my leg because he always sitting in the front row. Hey, stop playing with him and go to the hole. Where you come from, Bob? Like, but they always there, from him to what's my guy, Ron Thias. What's my guy that used to old school with the glasses, always be at all the pro-am games, everything. Even to this day, they used to recruit for the Knicks.
Somebody gonna put him up there. Somebody gonna put him up there. His name slipped my mind, but I know who you're talking about.
Ball head, I always talk to her like, you know, he's like, he actually recruited my dad, and then I want to find out for the Knicks. I can't think of his name right now. It's slipping my mind. They're gonna kill me.
Let's go back for a sec. Do you remember the high school that your dad played at?
No. Not. I have to ask Bob. I'm called Bob and find out. I never knew. Like, but I know they all was tight, so I can really find out from Bob. Like,
yeah, that'll really be dope, because you know, if Bobby Hunter knows that, Bobby Hunter number I could call as well, because I just find that when I found that out doing my research on you, knowing that you wore 13 in honor of your dad, and he played, and he was part of that brotherhood, but that brotherhood, that elite brotherhood, because the Globetrotter was everything in the black community in America. And
I'll make you laugh,
because he was way better than everybody else.
I'll make you laugh. So him, I can't think of dude. So remember, people don't remember this because I'm young, but I wasn't around when it happened. Remember when they had the Harlem Globetrotter Classic and they used to play against all of them?
Yes.
Tiny played against my dad, and my dad got MVP of that and gave them numbers. Like, so they all, like, Bob and all of them know him. They said my dad was crazy. But, you know, that was like, I wish I was able to around to get to see a lot of that stuff. So, like Jim Couch, all them played with my dad, played against them. Helicon, what's the name of my coach I played for, Wisconsin, Milwaukee. Rick Carr played against my dad. So, like, you know, and I remember Sam Worthen.
Sam Worthen is my guy. I grew up right down the block from him. I see him all the time. And every time I see Sam, I have to go somewhere. I said, next time, Sam, call me. I'm coming up the block, and he's going to talk. He's like, I got you, G. I got you, G. So that's my guy. We all grew up idolizing Sam, man.
Sam told me, like, that's a guy who, when I first started coming into my own, right before I went to Wisconsin, Milwaukee, he taught me so much, and it was simple stuff. And I remember playing with him, and, you know, Sam get in his bag, you blink, it'd be right in front of you. You know, he tapped the ball, it'd be right in front of you. I'm like, man. And he did it for a long time until he was older, and he still had that touch. Like, I tell guys, like, he was one of the few. Like, it was such a – I think the community of basketball really raised me, and I also got my bumps and bruises from it. So they matured my game within the game. And to me, I think without that, I wouldn't be who I was in the way I played.
And then your character outside of basketball speak volumes. Because everybody who I talk about you and say you coming on the show, they talk about how much of a great person you are. So that speaks volumes.
Yeah, I appreciate that. My biggest thing is like, you know, I was a kid that I had less. So when I got opportunity to give back, I always give back because it was done for me, you know, and that's the biggest thing I tell a lot of guys. It ain't, to me, like I did a lot of camps in New York City where I didn't charge no kids. And I didn't want to charge any kids because at the end of the day, we got a whole bunch of people that can pay for that. You know, we got a whole bunch of politicians that get money and stuff like that, that's actually allocated for that. So why not let them pay for these kids to go there, and then I just give my services. And that way everybody get taken care of. Expenses get taken care of, and we just get in the gym and work. Because I did a program for 6 years with Candace Hayes for like 6 years in the summertime. And it was funny because, you know, New York City, everybody think I'm trying to steal their players. I don't like AAU. I don't coach AAU, but I want to make kids good so they can destroy AAU.
Say that again. Repeat that.
I said, I don't coach AAU and I don't like AAU, but I want to teach kids how to destroy AAU because at the end of the day, it's still basketball, but it ain't like our AAU. Yes. Our AAU, we practice 2 hours before, you know, with our same team and all that. And they don't understand that. We had real workouts, like, you know, from Brooklyn United to Mustangs to Sun Devils to Riverside to Gaucho, Miami Bronco.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's my guy? No matter how good you were.
If you didn't show up, you didn't play.
Malloy, Jason Williams, who played for the Nets, was in my team. All these guys had to come to practice or they wouldn't play because we was stacked. Every team was stacked.
Everybody had 10 guys. It was never nobody you could never walk in that. I told on some of the team, I told some of the guys when they was like, yo, how you playing, stuff like that. I said, I play on a team where I was like the fourth.
Bring the phone down, son. Bring the phone down so I can get your whole There you go. There you better. Go. Cool. Yeah.
There you go. So they were like, you know, so they asked me, how you know? I said, well, I was like the 4th string guard. It was like, what? I said, first of all, I came in a weird era. I went to high school in 90. So 90 had everybody. You know, Jerry McCullough, Felipe Lopez.
My guy Whitehead said 90 was the best class in New York City history. And by the way of the McDonald's All-Americans, since we had 5, that kind of solidifies it, on paper at least.
Nah, it was, I tell everybody, it was the best from 90 to 90, probably 96, 97. Because think about it, Felipe graduated with me in 94. We had at least 7 dudes fighting, 10 dudes fighting to get in McDonald, remember it was Kareem. Kareem was a junior, Kareem was a senior. It was Philippe, Zende Hamilton, Orlando Chick was the year before, and you had all the St. Raymond dudes.
Mashburn didn't make it.
Yeah, I forgot about Mad. Like, and remember, my freshman year, Talent Town closed down, and then we got Sean Wise and all of them at Rice. So, like, we got Rice, we got Sean Wise, we got Kojo, we got all of them coming. The other half went the same rate, the other half went to Hayes. Like, people who don't know basketball don't know how deep, like, it was. So that's why a lot of us, you know, had to either leave Rice or go somewhere else because at the end of the day, we had, first it was an all-boys school. And it was 250 kids in there, 50 to 70 of them can really ball. You know, like, because my class, I told you one thing. The starting 5, my freshman year was Jerry McCullough, Philippe, Reggie, Freeman, high 5, Manute, forgot the big kid name. Then you had Rob Johnson. Yeah, all these guys coming, and our freshman team was crazy. And then right in the middle of the year, Sean Wise came, Kojo came. We had Richie Allegasi who played freshman with me. Ziggy McKee played freshman with me. Troy Forster. What's the name that played at Martin Luther King? We both changed at Martin Luther King. I remember there. Bird was with me on that freshman team. Like, we was second. Remember Ron Carlos coached us from Minnesota.
Yeah.
So Ron brought all of us there because, truthfully, Shan was supposed to come to Rice right behind us. Cause remember, that's the whole block. Cause I live on 42nd and Convent. You go from Lenox to Convent, it was Sham, Ali Mo, you passing Gary on the corner, you go up my block, then you had the twins that went to A. Phillip Randolph. Like, so like it went straight up a block. But Carlos had all of us on one team.
Damn.
because it basically, like, you know, every block had ballers. And then you go to the older guys, that's Tim Dog and all them block. You know, Todd Dangerous and all them coming in play. Like, there's a lot of dudes. It's like, and you keep going. Then you go to the Bronx. That's a whole different category. And you go to Brooklyn, same thing. Cause you had our era was like, you know, Ed Coda. My era, Ed Coda. Booger.
Yeah.
Actually, Booger older than me. I was a junior at Manhattan, and Booger was a senior.
Yeah.
So Todd Davis. You know, we had a lot.
David, where are you? My young king, where are you? King? Well, he grown ass man now. Y'all watch. I had to play against his brother Trevor, right? Crazy. Oh,
Todd still had one of the slowest crossover right to left ever, yo. But you couldn't take it.
Didn't it seem like he was gonna get picked sooner or later, but it never happened.
Crossover to a spin move to a finish.
And all banging on you.
Yeah.
All right, so I wanna do something real quick because you just ran off some names, and I think I jumped the gun a little bit because I was about to say Steph, but Steph came 92.
No, Steph. We played against Steph because me and Steph the same age, but he a year underneath me because we played at Gaucho together. So Steph was at Lincoln. We actually beat Steph and them at Lincoln when we got in a fight with him. Cause my backcourt at Manhattan Center was me, Cam, Rich Parker. They call it in the newspaper. They call it the triple threat. And then we had Dwayne Jordan, who went to Seton Hall, with Travis Saller, who went to North Carolina Central. Then we had Keith Thomas that went to Colorado, come off the bench. So we were stacked. Like, so we went up in there and, you know, and gave him a quick spanking. You know, so
well, you know, when Steph was a kid, he was watching us beat Manhattan Center in 1986 in the city championship.
that team was different. That Manhattan team was different.
Let me tell you something. When I took John Arnold as my guy, right? We played him
at John Arnold.
John Arnold, yes. I now have to hold Jerry McCullough. You heard?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So always held the best player. But John said, we look past y'all. And we didn't at that time, me, Tiny Morton, who was our point guard. People that know Tiny was nice. Bernard Mitchell, John Williams, Peter P. Head, my guy, Dave Adams. You got a nice bench. About 2-3 guys came on the bench, but that was the tip. Beat them. Next game, had to play against Malloy and them. They look past it. So we're just talking about those errors where it's crazy. I'm still hearing some mumble. I'm still hearing some mumble now. Okay, I don't hear anymore. All right, so you talk about that 1990 All-City team. 1990-91. Terrence Brencher is Player of the Year, and he got Mr. Basketball. You had James Caricier from Lincoln, Steve Frazier, Jerry McCullough, Andre Riddick, Orlando Artuiga. Orlando
Globetrotters.
Mo Brown from Grady.
Yep, with St. John's, right? St. John's.
Yes, Stacy Castle. Scoring.
I forgot about Stacy Castle.
Yo, y'all get this is crazy. And we not even talking about the dudes who made All-American.
Nope, not none of them.
You know what I'm saying? Jamal Phillips, he got MVP of the state championship.
Yep.
Kim Woosley. And hold on, and that was Brooklyn, I think. Brooklyn, Queens. Yeah. And then you have Manhattan. Yo, it's.
I tell everybody like, yo, what you made? I said, I was happy to make all Manhattan team. I was happy to make second team because there was so many dudes. And then when I played in the Wheelchair Classic, the tryout practice was crazy because, you know, they do the Manhattan, Bronx, and all that. And then they combine, I think, Bronx and something else. So on our team, there was the Catholic school, it was Catholic school and public school put together. So you had all of Manhattan, Catholic school, and then trying out for one team. And then, you know, all the McDonald Americans had to get on the team first. And then it was like whatever was left over. Like, then you battle for that. So you already knew. Like, so it wasn't even, then they had Cause I remember that year we did the wheelchair classic, then we did the golden hoops, I played in both of those my senior year, and I was mad because Felipe kept getting all the light because Felipe flew out after golden hoops and went to Magic Johnson. Remember Magic Johnson celebrity game? Yeah. And then he went to there, and then he went to McDonald's. Like,
first of all, let's make some noise for you making golden hoop and wheelchair classic, because people that don't know, that was the easy to make. And if you played in that, that means you was one of the best. That's just flat out. They don't have those things today. Those are the things that kept us home.
Yep. Facts. And you went to them games and you were like this. I gotta get there. Like you won. Like I tell everybody watching like a lot of basketball throughout the country, living in Ohio, living in different places. I tell people all the time, there's no more pride of being on varsity. They let everything, like, freshmen get to sit with the varsity. I remember, I'll make you laugh. So when I transferred from Rice to Manhattan Center, they had a crew still. They had Sean Nelson, who started Trouble Neck. They had Joel Child. They had all these seniors. They had Sherman Jones, who's a honorable mention, all-city player that's from East Harlem and all of them. So I walk in there. Remember, we lost in the championship game, about to go to states at Rice. We was undefeated. We'd been there by about 30, 40. I come in there my first day when Evander Ford was the head coach. I walk in there, and he said, go get dressed. I get dressed. I did cardinal rule of all time. Guess what I came out in for the workout and do run? My Rice practice uniform at Manhattan Center. When I said that was the first time I ever felt like I was gonna lose my life, Evander Ford lost it. Cause back in the day, you couldn't wear them while I was stuffing them while I was in the gym.
First of all, come on. You committed a basketball corner rule. You don't go nowhere and wear the full uniform if it's not the team you playing on. Right? So that dude walking the ball, ain't nobody picking him. Ain't nobody picking a dude with the full uniform on. And somebody that's from another school.
So, Evander Ford stick all the seniors on me. And Sean Nelson's always strong. Yeah. They surround me. What you doing with that on? He grabbed my Rice practice jersey and ripped it off my shoulders. And I was probably like 140, 145, 150. These dudes all seniors. They all surrounded me, and he ripped it off. He ripped it off me. I had marks on like my shoulder, and Evander Ford, don't you ever do that. Now, don't get a pair, because that's when we had the shorts that said prime time on the back. Right. Don't get a pair of them shorts to take them green things off. We make now, they probably got him. They probably suspended him from school and everything right now in this era. And they fired Evander Ford. And he's like, you look at how make you walk to the locker room in your boxes, So that was my first day trying to play basketball with Manhattan Center. After thinking, I had my ego of Rice on my chest, like, I won a championship. I don't know what y'all talking about. Wow. But that was that humbling moment, like you come a part of a team, like, it's this way or the highway. It ain't like that no more all over. Yeah, so. That it kind of showed that it kind of developed us, and that's why I think our team was really good, at that point.
Yeah. So, I know I spoke earlier about you playing with Cam and Rich Parker. Told you I had John on the show, had A Butter on, and Rich Parker, and I asked all three of them. I was like, yo, can Cam really play? Hold on, before you answer. And all three of them says, hell yeah, G. And I said, all right, I'm not going to ask nobody anymore. But then you come on the show. And then you say you play with Cam. So I got to ask you again, man. Got to ask the question again.
I'm going to make you laugh. I played with Cam and Mace, because Mace a year older than us, and he was on varsity before me at Manhattan Center. So Mace was a defensive player. He ran a point, but he could defend. He's a defender like this. And all my guys in New York City, Harlem know he always had a shirt in his mouth. That's how he defend. Like that's how he defend. He'd do that and grab his shirt and then guard you all the time and be and always he always did the Kenny Anderson step, high step. So that was that. He couldn't really shoot, but makes it bother the hell out of every point guard and every two guard in the league. But I'll tell everybody, the numbers speak for it.
It takes heart to guard.
Yeah, in New York City especially. And we played 94 feet at Manhattan Center. We picked up 94 feet, so it wasn't we wait for you at half court. It was all guards picked 94 feet. That was a Vanderford rule. And I'll tell everybody, his record speaks for itself. When I played with my junior senior year, we didn't lose no games at home, and we only lost 4 games in my 2 years at Manhattan Center.
Wow.
So, and if all the stuff that happened, the bad situation that happened, we was undefeated. Like, so I always say it. We don't want a championship if circumstances was changed. There was nobody beating us. Like, there's no way.
Rick said that. He said that.
Like, I give you some numbers. So I tell people all the time, I didn't score a lot at Manhattan Center because I had Rich, Cam, and I probably averaged about 15. But I averaged over 9 assists. I averaged over 9 steals a game. Because I tell everybody, I was a great ball handler, but I was there for defensive purposes. I was a cut the head off a snake every time. Like I'm guarding your best point guard, whoever they think it is. I'm shutting them down. Steph didn't give us 20 when we played against them. But me and Cam took that responsibility. That wasn't happening. So you already knew that. Look. He ain't give us a lot of dudes came in there. Look, a lot of dudes came in there. They came in real territory.
It's all good.
And it got so bad. I know they told you this. When I left Rice, they supposed to give us Felipe and them. I said when we was undefeated. Them guys didn't show up. They sent us a B team. And when we did the B team, we beat them about 40 because we said we didn't want them. We wanted the A team. Y'all running. St. Ray's, they didn't want to come to us either because public school, Catholic school like playing public school because if they lose, that ranking go down. But the whole year they was ranked above us, but they wouldn't play us. So, and we made, and Coach Jackson and Richard tell you this, we made room for them. We would drop a game just to play them. We would drop a game. Like, hey, we want to show up to that game. We have our own private game because it was Catholic school versus public school every year. It didn't matter what it was. Bishop Loughlin.
Yes,
we won though.
We had a conversation last year about who produced the best players, Catholic schools and public schools. But I think we need to have like a big forum for that. Like more people have it live, and have people, talk about some of their great. Because I know people on the Catholic school side going to say, we have more players, probably have more pros, and the public school side say the same thing.
Yep. People don't know, and you know this, before Manhattan came Manhattan Center, it was Benjamin Franklin. So a lot of dudes came out of Benjamin Franklin. A lot.
You won't believe. I had the legendary Kenny Hutchinson up here. Kenny Hutchinson haven't gave an interview in over 40 years. So everybody thought he was strung out on drugs somewhere out of town. He was in Atlanta sending girls to college and training them and coaching them in high school. And a lot of them was on that night vouching it like, yeah, New York show y'all got some love. He down in Atlanta doing big things. Kenny Hutchinson.
Another monster. Look, just like I tell everybody, the land of New York City was thick of basketball players, and it's just crazy. Like especially like you said, like that 80 to like I'm gonna say 97. I give 97. That 80 to 97, was different. Was different. Like it was just.
Just thinking about the times just from when I came in, basketball was so intimidating to me at the time because I came into Lincoln as a football player. I just happened to go out to the basketball team because I lived across town and I didn't want to ride that hour train ride by myself. So my guys who was going out for the team was like, yo, G, come on. I'm going, they number 1 in the state. What we doing? We wasting our time. Back then, there was no JV.
Nope.
It was varsity or bus.
Wow. Yep. Varsity or you just watch.
That's it. And I'm in the 9th grade. Nobody's picking 9th graders.
Nope.
Coach had surprised for me, cut all my friends and picked 3 freshmen.
Wow.
I was only 5'8". My coach was a fortune teller because that next summer I grew to 6'4", and then to 6'5" and 6'6".
Yeah, he said, look, she saw it in you.
No, sometimes I amaze myself. This is why I think these stories are so great, because each individual person has a different story. Like Corey Williams, right?
Ooh.
He was in Rice. He was in Rice and didn't know how good Rice was. He didn't know Felipe Lopez was there. He didn't know that.
Hey, watch this. I played with his brother, George. He went to Manhattan Center, his older brother. That's why me and Corey so tight. That's how small the basketball world is.
Yo,
George Jorge, we call him George Jorge, was a senior. Well, he's a junior when I got there. It was a senior when he left, and then I left. Rice came there. So his older brother, I played with his older brother, and I wound up playing, like, with Corey and all that stuff again. Like the basketball world, you can't be like you always say, if you good in New York City, you can't say you don't know somebody who's good. That means you wasn't good. They don't know you.
Yes.
Like they don't know your name, and they don't never, like, they ain't see you in everything. Because I tell people all the time, I said the one thing that I was playing 1199, I walked in 1199, didn't know who P.B. Kirkland was. I just wanted to go shoot around. Because, I knew basketball, but I didn't know P.B. Kirkland. I'm just trying to work on my game. He in there with Joe Hammond. I know of Joe Hammond, but I ain't never meet Joe Hammond. I'm like, who this old dudes in the gym teaching? This dude that look like a pimp with afro and stuff like that. He had to do all, and he started showing me stuff, and then Joe Hammond. I remember this is the first time I was told this. Joe Hammond looked at me, he said, yeah, you got that twitch. He said, you're gonna be athletic, you're gonna be able to do everything. But what you gotta do, I'm looking at Joe like he crazy. You gotta go there.
How old were you at this time?
Probably like 11, 12. He was like, yo, you gotta go to every rim and try to dunk. That's how you get your hops. I don't care what you do. You take your 2 hard steps, you go to every rim and try to dunk. You hit the nail, you try another one. You do at least one time in the game. I was like, I'm looking like, whatever, okay. So then on the side, I started. Look, Coach Bingo. Look, Coach Bingo to my tail headed here bum. I love you, Coach Bingo. No, another dude that made me run at Riverside. That team was traded to with Coach Bingo. With Lavelle Sanders.
Salute.
Another dude had me out there running too much. And that little gym with the poles in the way.
Yo, we did not. Well, who would have played there, fam? Yo, this is why, I ain't gonna lie. I went to a Riverside practice, and then went to Madison Square Broncos. I was like, yeah, this is much like it, and it's a lot closer. We're gonna do this here. I'm not going way up to the Bronx to the Gaucho. I remember with my coach, 2 of the best players that in my era, Spice and Silk, 2 guards. Ross Strickland tell his story about them coming up to Foster Gym, trying out for projects, to try out for the Gauchos. And he was like, yo, they came up there cooking, but they never came back. I said, yeah, because my coach told them not to. He told all of us, y'all guys don't go to Riverside and Gaucho. His guy was Doc. Now we know that a lot of these guys are friends. So who you got passed off to? Coaches that was friends of another coach.
Dr. Jula. I know all of them. I played for Doc too.
I'm telling you. Listen, son. Does he really look like that? And then you get used to it.
Him, Evander, and Thurm, and Bingo on here are the 3 funniest coaches to play for. Because when you first get to them, you think they joking.
Yes.
Like, Doc was hilarious, and then Thurm be screaming, but you be so hyped because you don't know what he's saying. You just know it's basketball. You just all over the place. Cause I tell everybody, I say, I'm 3 coach. Oh man, we had so much fun. I played in Pathmark. Remember the Pathmark League?
Yes.
Where everybody playing it, from pros, everything, right in the middle of the hood.
Uptown.
Yup. I'm in the Bronx. Yup. I tell everybody, I said, the Jula brought me up there. He's like, yo, come, he real smooth. Yo, come on. Yo, Headache, I want you to come up here and show these dudes thinking that. You give me all that. I'm gonna take care of you.
Why your fingers?
I'm gonna give you a couple of dollars. You know, don't worry about it. I got you. You want a hot dog? Get your hot dog. I'm like, I got come, yo. But we had so much fun. Oh man, just
when we talk basketball, especially when it's New York guys, we get so distracted and so off topic, but it all makes sense. It all makes sense, and it's all relevant, right? To, you know, growing up and the whole fabric of New York City and everything that we learned coming up. It kind of sticks with us, you know, because those are the days that everyone competing but still loving what you do, and it kept us out of trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Kept me alive. I tell everybody that. And I tell a lot of kids that. I say it kept me honestly. I tell a lot of players, a lot of kids I coach, and that's younger and in college, I said, you know what? You're going to miss a lot of things now because it's going to allow you to enjoy life later. And you won't understand what that means until you see a lot of your friends not around no more, or you see a lot of them incarcerated, and then you realize that, you know, basketball really took you, and that's for any sport, if you really take it serious. Yeah, basketball took you out of them opportunities of making mistakes, because the culture of basketball teaches you discipline to show up on time. It teaches you that you have to be there to get better, you know, and a lot of times kids don't understand that. And I didn't understand when I was young either, but when I come home and I hear about one of my boys getting shot or somebody else getting shot, but I had to make a determination. Like, I wanted to play basketball, so I had to be on time. If not, Evander Ford would sit me. And, you know, we don't never like sitting. So it made you forget about all that other stuff, and it kept us out of that trouble. Yeah, we had to walk through when we were home, but we was in an era where drug dealers and all them guys knew who the basketball players were. Leave him alone. He's a basketball player. That's not what he do out here. Because half the time they betting on us in the park anyway. So
they never tried to reel us in. They never tried to reel us in. They was never like, yo, here's this brick, youngin, come over here. You know, even though some of us did step on that side, but that was the choices that those guys wanted to make. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I had that one. I had one time in my life. And because my family is big and everybody know the history of Bob McCullough and my dad and all them, they're like, nah, not him. Leave that one alone. Leave that one alone and let him go. And then my aunt and them was like, oh, you can't go on that block no more. So that kind of saved me. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you always had to fight because that was just part of the game of basketball in the neighborhood, because you couldn't go somewhere else's block and win. And I do it. I tell people, like, I was talking to Darnell Middleton, Lamar Middleton brother, and we was talking about, you remember when we used to get 5 from your block? Yeah. And you go another 5, and you have, like, everybody have $1, and you play that group for $1. So you had to pay the guy who was guarding you. You know, so you basically $5.
I guess that's a Harlem thing, because that's in Brooklyn happen. We fighting. It's like
and usually that's what. So you only took 2 guys that played the 4 and the 5 for you. Was your thugs, because you knew.
Right. There you go.
When the game got physical,
you already know what's going to happen.
But and then, you know, we got the money together. What did we do with the money? We went to the Chinese food spot
and split the wings.
Got 4 wings for $1 and some French fries and that nasty shit.
A tall Sunny Dew Delight, the container Sunny Dew iced tea.
That was 50 cents, and it had nothing but it was made with sugar and water.
We didn't know. We was drinking out of the park with the water, putting our thumb on the water so it could come out.
Yeah.
Now we look at them like, what those kids doing? We did the same thing.
Yeah. Man, I tell everybody, and it's just different era, and it taught you how to compete.
Yeah.
You know, I tell everybody, and to me, that's what New York City is about. New York City basketball is about competing. I remember going up to Battlegrounds and not playing with Stu Barnett and them, and then my first time actually getting a shot was when somebody got hurt, and it was like, yo, young can play a little bit, let him play. And they gave me, you know how they give you the commands when you go on the court? Don't you shoot. You give me the ball. It's always the one guy that's nice. You give me the ball, and you just play D, and that's it. Don't make us lose. We got 2 points to game, and that's when we played 40. Remember, switch at half, switch at 20, everything 2s. Yeah. They don't do that no more.
Now do that is too much for them now. Like 20 people switch at half. Like really play.
Yeah, like we play. Like 20, you switch at half, we play. I remember playing like yesterday. That what kind of brought me into my element. And I don't know if you remember Kev. Lightfoot Kev and Butler and all them cheesing them from uptown. I'm playing against them, and I get the ball. I get a steal, and you know my young, hard-headed stuff. I ain't passing him the ball. I get the ball on the break. I go against this dude named Black. I shake him up and drop him and get a layup to win the game. And I turned around. He was running me down, ready to fight me because I embarrassed him in front of everybody. So he's swinging at me. I'm moving. All my boys, like, watch your back, watch your back. He was pissed because I embarrassed him. And I know I ran up the hill because I was young. And I came back the next day, and everybody like, yo. So now I went from not playing at all on the court to playing the last game.
Y'all got short.
Like, and so that's how it kind of helped me develop. And then I was like, and then my mom going, okay, I'm ready for this. And then I started doing more stuff to get it. And to me, that was like the introduction of like, okay, it's going to be bumps and bruises, but if you don't back up, you'll be good. And that kind of went on the rest of my life.
Right? Because that's the rite of passage in New York City. I'll tell kids, go find some older guys to play with. Go let them toughen you up. Go let them knock you on the ground. Trust me, it'll benefit you when you play against guys your age.
You remember Tommy Ryer?
No, not
big body from Harlem, like Tommy Ryer, all because I grew up with Todd Davidson, which is Flex brother and all them from Columbia.
Yeah.
I play with all of them. And then they used to take me to IS8, and and I think I saw Canada, I saw Derrick Cannon on here, DC. I went to play with them in IS8. I can't think of his name right now. Light skin, jump out the gym, real smooth. He older. He like probably at least in his 60s now. He was real smooth, light skinned. I think Ron something. I can't think of his name right now. I'm playing with them in Unlimited with him, Big Herb Williams, 7-foot Herb Williams.
Yes.
Mace, Tony Greer. I'm playing with all of them. They subbed me in the game before the half, like a minute left. And I think it was Kevin Simmons and one of them. They jump out the gym. The ball gets swung. It's counting down 10-9-7. I was a defensive player. Man, Kev came down, old school dude. I'm like 16. He come down and take off. It's like 5, 4, 3, 2. He take off and dunk it on me. And if it goes, I fall and slide him bounce. and all of them laughed at me because it was Red Star. It was the Red Star team. They all laughed at me the whole time. I was mad and pissed. I didn't play the rest of the game. Like they got physical. They always play. I played a little bit. Man, but I was mad I was on the bench the whole time, mad, just thinking about something to do. Like, that'll never happen again. Like, they laughed at me and they told me.
Look, brother, I'll tell you, if you ever get dunked on, you don't want no smoke. Like, you gotta want the smoke. That happens. That's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get crossed over. It's gonna happen. If you want to play against the best, it's gonna happen.
Yep. I tell them, hey. And look, I'll leave this one. You can ask Rod when you have Rod on here. So when I was it's funny. Him, Saeed, Saeed Dean and all of them. Dean brothers. So Saeed say this too. So I went to Raw Sugar first camp in Riverbank. This is when I had my hand was jacked. I broke my hand, something like that. But I didn't want to come out and go to camp. So Mike Dean, who used to cut here, Mike.
Mike Dean. Listen, Rod was on the show talking about Mike Dean, telling him about Skip. He got to go see Skip play. So Mike Dean, his words are official.
So I live around the corner from the barbershop. So I just go to Mike. I always do the ball. I'll do around Mike. Mike like, yo, and we always talk John. I'm like, Mike, ain't nobody can mess with me. I'm young, like 34. So Mike was like, yo, I'm going to get you a Rod. I met John Starks, everybody from him. So Mike sent me to camp because I was a little knucklehead. I didn't have no respect for anybody. I was like, yo, you got to prove me. So they sent me with Al Pratt to go to the camp. Sardine was my coach. In the camp, they put Sardine with me. I got one hand with an ace band wrapped around my calf, getting 40 against everybody with one hand. But I'm talking crazy. New York. I'm talking crazy to everybody. His nephew, everybody. So they told Rod, Mike Dean told Rod to come to the gym. So last day of camp, Rod come in the gym. Actually, Rod picked me up and drove me to camp that day in his drop top BM. When he had the red joint. So we in the camp. So in the practice they put everybody in the stands. They said the best player in the camp gonna play Raw 1-on-1. This is the cocky me, not knowing, being dumb. Because Raw was Raw. That's when Raw was the Knicks. Raw was Raw. We all know.
He picked you. He knew this, and he picked you up in his Beamer drop top. You didn't know it was about to go down.
We get to the gym, and everybody and I tell him this day, I still want my 1-on-1. He be like, I'm never playing you. Like. So we get there, we play. They said we're going to play 1-on-1. They put me in front of all the campers, like 300 campers. So we playing 1-on-1. I check it out. It's the first play of the game. I get it. You know, he give me the ball. I shake. I do all the crazy stuff. I throw between raw legs and lay it up. And I start talking jump. Yo, yeah, you know, young, stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. I know what's coming.
So then I get it again. I try to square him up again. I jab. He picked me. He back it up. If I'm lying, you ask Rod. He gave me the quickest move ever. My feet are like this. I twist my ankle. He laid the ball up. He laid the ball in front of the whole camp. Like, now I'm mad, a twisted ankle, and I gotta finish the game. He just ran him off on me. Just and ever since then, you ask him, like, I'm mad to this day. I'm like, yo, Rob, see, I play that one-on-one. I don't care if we both got bad hips, whatever. He's like, I'll never give you that.
No, that's it. And I was in my era too.
I told myself, I have to work out with him, trying to work out with the Knicks. I was working out with him every day. And Ivy Manning, who trained Rod and trained me, he's like, yo, y'all gonna play this one-on-one? I said, yeah, Rod, let's play one-on-one. That dude, no, I'm not playing him. No way. Like, and I'm like, and it was a respect factor for Rod to say that, but I know Rod would have bust my ass. Like, it wasn't even a question about it. But, you know, it's a New York in you. I want to test the water. I want to test and see how far can I get. Last time I drowned right away. Let's see, can I make it to the middle of the deep end this time? And then, you know, I'm going to come back again, like, let's try this again and see how far I can make it. But that's what built in all of us. That's what made us great. We didn't want the weakest dude. We wanted the best one on the floor to see so we can judge our skill. And that's what the game of basketball and life is about.
Well, this next question I'm about to ask.
Uh-oh.
I hope it all makes sense, right? Who ass did you bust to solidify your name in these streets of New York City, that when that game, after that game happened, even though you had a lot of other things that happened before that, but what was that game that solidified you to everyone in New York City?
Damn. I'm going to think the first time I played against, in 55th, I played against, a lot of people don't know this, I played against the X-Men when they were stacked. With Robert Soul, Troy Truesdale.
Legend.
The young Hoppin.
Rest in peace, too.
Big Matt Tucker.
That's my guy, Beast Channel. The animal. Matt Tucker get in contact with me.
Look, here in North Carolina, fight everybody. They had, at the guards, they had David Kane. They had,
that's my guy.
They had DC. I'm trying to think who else they had on that team. They had a ton. And that was a game that my first time when I went from Tim Gittens, Twinkle Toes, to Headache, because that was the first time they were stacked. They were stacked. And they had all pros. So I came down and did like a little flip, went down the middle and dragged the whole offense this way. And we lost by like 3. And everybody like, what the hell did you just do?
You got your name in that game?
Yes. And I can tell you this much, I got my ass busted. They might say I didn't know, but you know the fan. Basketball wise, I got destroyed. But in fan eyes, I did my thing. Because that was the first time I played against David Kane, who was about to go try out for the Knicks. And he showed me some stuff that I kept for the rest of my life because he was moving me out of his way without touching me. Only you might get that. And I'm a good defender.
And he had that ability. Like, Dave was a killer.
If he had
he's not gonna do that much either to get you
no, it's not a lot. It was real simple. Change of speed, real simple and direct. And he probably had like 40 against me. I probably had like 30 something, but it didn't matter because at the end of the day, no matter how much you have, it's about to win. But I learned so much from that, but I got stamped that game because of that. But then that to me, it made me get hungry because, you know, I tell kids all the time, a coach might never know you got your butt busted by somebody. But you know and I know, because, you know, mano right here in your chest, you know if I got the best of you and you got the best of me. You can't hide that to yourself. Like it's impossible. You're gonna go home, everybody like, oh, you did a good job. But you like, Dad, he killed me. I gotta get ready for the next one. You know what I'm saying? Like, but also too, I tell people all the time, I don't mind that because I was 15, 16. You know what I'm saying? Like I was in high school still, playing against grown men, but I was forced to play against grown men, like you said, because I had grown men pushing me. I had Tony Hargrave, Sam Word, all these guys pushing me to be better, but they also sat me when I was acting crazy to teach me how to control the ball. Because as everybody know, I was super unique and creative on the flow of the game. But I remember playing with them, with Red Star, and they subbed me in a game. We playing against, I know you know him too, Joe Charles and them. Yes, he had his little team.
Yes.
And the game is super physical. And they subbed me in for one play. And my boy Will always talk bad about this. I turned the ball over. We up 15. I turned the ball over one time. I didn't see the game the rest. And I didn't see the game no more after that. They sat me down. Cause remember, it's Showtime on that game. The old Corey Williams Showtime. It was the original Showtime.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. We're gonna clear this up real quick, right? And this is no disrespect to Corey Williams, right? Who y'all know out in Australia doing this thing big time. Did his thing in the Rucker. But my guy, our guy, Corey Showtime Williams, Mr. Easy Bucket, Mr. I bust everybody ass getting 40 and 50. He was doing some special things, this guy.
He gave me my bounce. He gave me my bounce in traffic with the dunk because he's the first one I seen do that. Before Speedy Williams. Look, they had him, DC, Tony Hargrave. I don't even remember Hoppy.
Yeah. And DC was coming all the way from Jersey.
Yes. Dorian Graham.
Yes, Dorian.
Matt Tucker.
Yes.
That's not cool. Big Herb. That's who I'm so bench with. Like, so I'm not really supposed to play.
Those are my era guys. You know what I'm saying? Those are my era guys.
But think about it. Like, that's why I tell people, think about it. I was 14, 15 playing against these guys. So when I got to my age bracket, it was easy. Because I'm guarding Corey Showtime Williams. I'm guarding DC. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? And that movement is, I had to guard Doogie. That movement is different.
Yo, and Doogie will be on here soon.
Yo.
First of all, you was raised by a basketball community. And all the people who you played against and came under and watched play, who kind of helped add on to who you became, simply amazing.
Hey, I tell a story all the time. Doogie never talked to me for like 2 years. Doogie just would give me numbers and keep it moving. You know, that damn crossover to off the glass from deep, from three, all the time. I played against him in everything, and I played with him, but I didn't really play because they all was in front of me because Doogie played on that team too with Tone Hargrave, Showtime. That team was really stacked. That primetime team was stacked. Like Tone tell you all the time. Tone be like, he'd be like this, and Tone always call me Timothy. He'd be like, Timothy, relax, Timothy. You know how Tone say your whole name? Timothy, relax.
Mr. Popper. Mr. Popper.
So, you know, so that what it was. So I tell people all the time, they slowed me down enough to make me learn. And it was by force. If not, you don't play. You know, so we don't have that no more. You know, we don't have it. I tell everybody, I told them I ever came back and did open run, I would get old dudes that play the game that still can play, some college dudes, some high school dudes, and if you don't respect this, if you don't come out and respect this, you can't be in this gym with us. Because even going to miss you, I watch Rod don't be able to miss you.
I think that's something we start doing in Brooklyn as well, right? Get these these dudes that coming up in high school and have them play against these older guys who graduated college, not the college dudes.
Nope, the ones playing pro overseas.
Yes.
Because remember, I played with Dykeman, with the couch and them, and I tell everybody, it was, you know, when we played FIT, we had all NBA guys that came late because they knew that we was gonna play at like 4. That when the scrimmage started at 4, but all the younger guys, the college guys, and guys who wanted to work out, and then the high school guys had to be there too. So we worked out an hour and a half doing drills and stuff like that. And then we started the scrimmage with Arnie Jacobs and Mr. Couch and them. And then when Anthony Mason, all the NBA guys walked in, and the elite high school and college guys walked in, the kids that worked out could stay and watch or they can leave. But then, the elite guys got picked out to kind of play in the run. And so you got to play against, I remember playing like my senior year in that gym, there's a long name, Lawrence Moulton walked in. He just got drafted by Toronto. He get on the floor, but the Couch look at me and say, yo, you got him. Now in my mind, I'm going, yo, I used to watch him on TV, he getting buckets.
Did he have the high stop?
Yeah. And I'm like, in an NBA scouting gym, I'm praising him in my mind, but when I get on the court, I'm like, nah, I gotta pick him. I gotta get him. Make his life miserable. And that's what they did for me. So I guarded him, and then same day it'd be Speedy in the gym. It'd be Mark Jackson walking in the gym late. It'd be Raw. It'd be all these different guys that come in, but the runners control. And if you didn't do it, you got taken out, man. Like one day it was so crazy in the gym. The year that Ray Allen came in, we had Ray Allen. This is the year Charles Jones, when Ray Allen, when he got drafted the year before he went to LIU and scored it. It was Ray in the gym, Philippe, Zenny Hamilton, Elton Brand, Chanel Scott, Garrett Soul, Anthony Mason, Garrett Stowe, Conrad McCray, Herb. We had Fabrice Fenor, who's now coaching Toronto. We had a crew of just pros, and then all the Sweet Peter Walken, Lloyd Daniels, for people that don't know, like that's who's on the floor. And then you got Ray Allen, and then you got all these young guys, Joe Forte that played at North Carolina, me, Mookie, and we the young dudes. And we all got named. And then you got, and Philippe and all these guys. So it was subs and drones, but the NBA guys was on one team. We had like 2 on our team because they always wanted Ant Mace to match up. John Garbaso, John Strick. So Ant Mace and John Strick always match up against each other and talk so much junk.
So great.
That was the pickup run. So then you had the high school kids subbing with that, and if you made a mistake, you came out and they put the pro back in. So long as you didn't make a mistake, you stay out there. When you make a mistake, you got to come out because you messing the run up.
So did that help you and the guys at FIT go 28-8?
Yes. The seat there. And I wasn't even gonna go there, but it was so many banners in that gym from dudes that went there that because of with the cow.
People at FIT. I'm tired of people doing that. When we was in high school, that was when the Goblet Classic was. We played a lot of games with Madison Square Broncos at the FIT. As a high schooler, going in that gym, it was big time now. So it wasn't St. John's, it was the Garden, but it was FIT, and we knew about it. Yeah, and then later on, when you hear about the dudes who went there and the caliber ball players, and then you match up against these guys out in the summer league, and you like, damn, these guys.
They were FIT. Hey, I tell everybody, like, I'm the last banner. If they didn't take it down because they know they're changing it, I'm the last banner over the door.
Wow.
That won a championship there when I played for Marv Rippey, and I'm the last banner with that group of guys over that door. And a lot of people don't know. Like I tell you all the time, I take pride in that because I'm actually gonna go back this summer and hopefully throw the banner away and take a picture of it. But I'm the last one. But people don't understand. Like, it's just the New York City has so much. It was so much given. But like you said, playing against them guys, like, I make you laugh. Like, when you left, I actually went to Winston State before I went to FIT. Because Earl of Pearl sent me down there.
Oh, okay.
So when I first look. So like when I was my senior year with Rich and all that stuff happened. My last game of the season, I hyperextended my knee. I've had over 300 schools recruiting me. When I hyperextended my knee, every school started recruiting me. They thought I was done. And I had to rehab to get back. But, education first, I started getting my paper together. I had no school to go to, and I wasn't going to Division III. I'm like, I'm not paying for school. I'm too good of a player for that. So I talked to one of my doctor friends that was looking at my stuff. They knew Earl. This is how small the world is. There's no that network. They called Earl of Pearl. Earl of Pearl knew this dude named Eddie Gregg, who was a Hall of Famer from Brooklyn, Queens, who had a team. That's how I started playing in Queens. through Eddie Gregg and them. That's how I started playing Baisley Park, met Beast, BJ, and all them. That's how I started getting my name out there, terrorizing everybody out there.
Hold
because
on,
nobody ever seen me.
Hold on, slow down, because BJ my guy too. BJ Smurley ain't salute my guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
we had a quick look. I was in the music industry as well, so that's a whole other lifestyle. But salute to my guy BJ. It's a real guy.
So that mean you know Charles Mann.
Yes. Come on, man. Those are my ever guys.
I'll make you laugh. So in Baisley Park, when Charles Mann was killing, they was calling them the highlight team. I was throwing them the assists at 15. Wow. That was me. They called me Tim the Wizard.
You know, and that's how my guy Brian, who live in Rockdale, and Leroy, they call him Coach Shaw, whose son is Khalil Brantley.
Okay.
Those are the guys who kind of brought me out there to play in Baisley and 40 and all that. So I would have never known about that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Baisley, we got with Baisley because, you know, Charles Mann, we was rocking with Lost Boys. Lost Boys playing everything. And that's what
my guy did their first 2 singles. My guy Easy Mo B did their first 2 singles. Lifestyle of the Rich and Famous and Lex Coombs, Beamers and Benz.
And Beamers and Benz is shot in that park.
I know.
And it was crazy because think about it. That game against me and Skip, I played against Skip and Baisley, one way in, one way out when the shooting happened. Like almost stopped me from playing basketball, but that's when all the stuff happened in there.
Was that when that coach got shot?
Yep. And then like a couple people got hit and all that stuff. Because that game was packed. It was no room. It was me. This is God rest his soul too. Another one, Dave Edwards. So Charles Mann, Jason Bell that went to Iona. That was our crew. We was looking at everybody. So we come to Baisley. I'm new to the whole bigger life game stuff. This one I really made headache blow up. We play against Skip and them. So they bring in Skip to the game to play against me. But little I know, they brought David Edwards. This is Dave was out of college being a pro. They brought Dave Edwards. They brought this other little guard. And then they had Skip coming. There's a game when the famous throwing the aspens on the court. Happened in Baisley Park. Like, that's the same day of the shooting, all that. That's when all that stuff happened. And it was crazy. That's a game where I watched Charles Mann and Jason Bell fight for alley-oop. I threw up the backboard in the air, and they both dunk at the same time. Like, it was crazy.
Who had the film to that game?
I would love to know that. Look, that game was crazy. And I'm pretty sure it was on VHS, though.
yeah, right. How did you fare against Skip?
That's when the name came out. Everybody changed the story. That's when the aspens got thrown on the floor. We was neck to neck. Matter of fact, I'm going to send you the picture when I get on the phone of me and Skip taking a picture at halftime of that game before he got shot up. Like we
good you guys had the presence of mind to do it at halftime.
Yeah. Like literally when stuff went off, I felt the bullets flying by us. We hit the guy down low and then we got out of the park. But in that element, we grew up in that, so it didn't stop us from playing. But it was because it was that drug dealer element that was betting on the game, and they get twisted and drunk, so it was different. And that was our first time really meeting, me and Skip matching up. And then other times, and I tell everybody, I'm a Harlem kid, but nobody knows where I'm from. All of my people know I'm from Harlem. I went to everywhere. I was told to go everywhere. I took a ride every Saturday to go. That's how I met Half Man Half Amazing. I took from 145th in Convent, I took a ride all the way to Wingate Park every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock to play and Dunker's Delight. The only dude in Harlem out there, and my guy, Half Man Half Amazing, and all I'm gonna tell you, they were the first who let me come out and play in Brooklyn. And I'm on a train by myself, nobody with me. Get out there and then
I'm gonna ask him, because I used to always get on my lawyer about this. This is back in the days. All my guys from uptown. I'm saying, we always coming up here to play. Boys in yesteryear, citywide, no matter what.
Boys
we going to play. We going to Elm Court to play. Why don't y'all come down to Brooklyn?
I can't. I used to come all the time.
Now, again, Shane said he would come. Not as much, but he said he did come. And Malloy said he would go down to Dean Street because Antoine would take him.
Oh, Dean Street. Yeah, I play at Dean Street. I play all of them. I ain't care.
That's the safest part to go play. It's like dudes like, yeah, because it's right by the bridge. And we get out there quick. So.
Hey, I played in the All-Star game, and he can tell you this. I played in the All-Star game at Wingate Park. I played with Alvin Pierce, that's my guy. Played with Half-Man Amazing, and Half-Man May actually helped me that game. I'm coming down court. You know how Wingate Park is set up, and it's like 20 blocks from the train station.
Yes.
So
more than that.
So I'm playing against a dude, and the announcer, when we do what we do, you get 4 points for dunking, all that stuff. I come down, I mix a dude. I didn't know the dude was a drug dealer. I didn't know nothing about, because I just came to play basketball. I'm in a celebrity game. I come down, shake him up, and dropped him in front of everybody. Everybody go crazy. I throw behind the back pass. Biz dunk it. He get upset. The announcer go, yeah, this is the only dude out of Harlem in Brooklyn giving y'all a business. You already know. Like, dude get up. Dude get up. Biz, he went to square with me. Biz got between us. They grabbed me my bag, and my book bag, Alvin Pierce and them, like my right-hand dude. I took off down a block. I'm getting chased. I run. And then next week, I'm right back out there.
This ain't the first time this happened. Remember the guy was going to fight you before, and you came right back out? I'm not surprised, Heather. I'm not surprised.
And that's how me and Biz got tight. That's how me and Half-Man got tight.
Biz and I would battle, and this is before it became Half-Man. It was Biz in the Brooklyn Coliseum, and I told him, I said, yo, bro, I remember, you being a shot blocker and rebounder. Go away to prep school, college, come back. You one of the leading guys in the city. Like, you scoring, you dunking on dudes, you still blocking, you still getting rebounds, but you stepping up another level. And he was just like, yeah, G. And he went to a small school too. He went to Pratt, right?
Yeah.
We talk about all of those things. And New York high school city guys who go, their minds be somewhere else. Like, we got to go all these other places. Now that I'm older, we a little bit wiser. Those places are still here. Those places are still here. You went from FIT, 28-8. Yeah, you had some problems with your knee, but you still went to Wisconsin, Milwaukee. Oh, that kind of rap. Oh, I'm still rapping. All right, cool. Yeah, but how was life there? What transitions did you have to make coming from the city?
It was difficult at Wisconsin, Milwaukee, not because of that, just because I had Doug Lewis, who played with Sam Cassell, who actually got me ready to be a pro and stuff like that. But at the same time, it was difficult because of the culture. I was still being me. I was still being New Yorkish. And, when you out there, I had my head coach that bring me and tell me, look, you gotta tone it down a little bit. And he taught me that, you can't let everything out. I was walking around with the pants leg up, he's like, you're scaring the white people. You got, and I wasn't that type of kid. It was just that, that's the culture I grew up around. That's what I thought, like these to this era. So when he did that, and then it kind of showed, but my head coach was Rick Cobb at Spunner City. He kind of betrayed me a little bit, but he had me come and lead it. Like basketball wise was fine. It was just dealing with him and dealing with the optics of, one thing I always say, and I'm writing some stuff now to put out later, is that I played and been around a lot of men that betray to be men. You know what I'm saying? Like as a coach and somebody, I'm here to help mentor you and put you in a situation where you can succeed. And if I can't do it, I have to pass you to somebody else that can do it. But I have to realize I know I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to know that I can't help you. I gotta let somebody else handle it because you might not respond to me. So I gotta be able to do that. Rick Carr wasn't that guy for me. Doug Lewis was the guy that I went to and helped me out a lot, but he was jealous of that relationship. So being jealous of the relationship, he took it out on me. which hurt the whole team, us being really good. And that was some real selfish stuff. And that's why I always tell about people, like, I knew a lot of men that wasn't real men. You know, because dudes in New York City, you know, coach in New York City, they didn't care what you did outside of that. If you can ball, you can ball. But I was neither one of them guys. I was ball and I was getting grades. So to me, as I got older and I graduated and I left, and then I sit and think about all of my experiences, and I'm like, yo, this dude really didn't teach me anything to be a young man or a man. He was out to really hurt me. And then when I sat down with my assistant coach, he was saying, yeah, he wasn't really for you because you wasn't that guy. But when he recruited me, I could have went to Hawaii Pacific. I could have went to South Carolina, had a couple other schools that was looking at me. I chose them because I wanted to go somewhere and make a name for myself in the college ranking. That's how I did my whole life. I went somewhere and made it me. So I wasn't scared about going to any conference or whatever it may be. I figured I can do that only if you gave me the stage to let me do that. And he didn't want to give me the stage because my personality was I went to school. Everybody on campus loved me. I came in the gym and outworked everybody, and I'm gonna let you know about it. But when you recruited me, you saw that about me. So you can't change that personality. You can teach me. He didn't want to teach me, and he had nothing to teach me. So that's where our conflict was. Because my aunt died my senior year, and I went to him, and like raised me. Because when I came back to play against Fairleigh Dickinson, he told me I can go home and stay with my aunt. I didn't know she was going to die that year, right after that. But I went home. He told me, oh, yeah, I left at 10 o'clock. He told me, hey, make sure you back at the hotel at 12 p.m. I said, you told me I can spend the night at my house with my aunt. She's sick. Oh, no, you got to be back. Had a great practice and everything. I got back. My girlfriend at the time, she drove me back. I got to the hotel like 12:30. We got lost going back to Fairleigh Dickinson. You know, Fairleigh Dickinson in the middle of nowhere. New York.
I went to and played at Fairleigh Dickinson.
So you know, like you make a wrong turn.
You missed that turn.
So when I got late, I didn't see nobody going to my room. I tell everybody bye. I'm mad because I didn't get to stay with my aunt. I bought like 30 tickets of my own money to get my whole family to come. He come down, sat at my table. I'll never forget it. He just sat at my table in breakfast and was like this. Hey, I heard you was late. You're not gonna play today. Huh? I said, what? I was pissed, but you can't react because you react, So I go to the game. I'm still cheering the team on. First half go by, I'm not playing. Now my family's upset. I'm still cheering the team on. Second half go by. I don't play at all. We lose by 2. I was averaging about 15. Lose by 2. Your star point guard not playing. I go in the locker room. He turns to me and says, some of your guys are selfish. So, I lost it, threw a chair at him because I was done with it. My brother outside, he heard I'm getting in, my family here, I'm getting into it with the coach. They ready to come in, and wear this out. And then Sam Worthing actually called him because him and Sam Worthing play together. They all come like, what are you doing? They all play at Marquette together. They're trying to get me a transfer to Marquette because they're like, they was tired of the foolishness. But, I tell them, and now that I'm older, I go, that lesson helped, make me who I am now and teach me how to deal with kids and deal with people. Because I tell people all the time, like this game of life and game of basketball, if you can't read, and I don't mean literally the book read, if you can't read a person and know how to, I might have to whisper to you, yell at that person, kick that person in the butt. If you can't read them scenarios, this coaching thing or basketball thing ain't for you. I tell people all the time, as a point guard, I had to do that. You played a whole bunch of guys. Some guys you had to talk to. Some guys you had to whisper. Some guys you had to kick in the butt. Some guys you had to grab by a shirt.
Education. You can't teach everybody the same. Everybody don't learn the same.
At all. Like
Speaking of Fairleigh Dickinson, because it's all around the same lines. 4 years there. 2 years ago, my guy had a barbecue teammate. My coach shows up. Wonderful time. Great conversation. Turn to my coach. And I go, yo, you're an awesome dude. I wish I'd have known that in college. I got to know you in 2 hours more than I did in 4 years. And the guys who threw the barbecue, they were the older guys, the seniors on the team at the time, who didn't like the coach at the time, but I guess, that relationship grew over the years. This is my first time with my coach outside of me graduating. The first game I started as a sophomore. First game, 25. My assistant coach walks in and go, you know you won't do that anymore. So what do you mean? I took 12 shots. He said, yeah, you won't get those anymore. Because I took his guy's spot, who was a senior.
Yep.
So I tell, like, if you don't understand the nuances of college basketball, how things work, is I didn't recruit you, you ain't my guy. If you ain't at a program where grown men learn to accept kids as a whole.
Yep. And teach them. And exactly what you just said, 2 years ago, because I'm writing my stuff out, my life, I sat down with my assistant coach, and it was a white dude. I ain't gonna say his name, but assistant coach under my head coach, Rick Cobb, who's from New York, the elevator man, played Marquette. And I'll never forget him. I'll give him mercy, but I'll never forgive him for what he did. My assistant coach looked at me. We had dinner together when he came to Milwaukee when he was coaching still. I said, yo, what did I do wrong as a young man? And he said, you didn't do nothing wrong. The white dude that was assistant coach was running the team, and you wasn't one of his guys. That's why he didn't want you to play. He told me one day, he working me out. This dude played Division III basketball. He's working me out with another guard. And we going through, like, coming off screens, getting downhill, doing pull-ups and stuff like that. I had real long step back and all that. He said, no, you can't do it that way. You have to do it more like John Stockton. And the guy who I was like, you know, guy who I was, and young and dumb and really truthful with everything I said. I was like, yo, I will bust John Stockton's ass. I'm not him. John Stockton can't do what I do. Right now, he can't do it. I said, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, but he can't do what I do. Why would I play like him? Oh, you'll never be a pro. And that was it. Like, he made sure I didn't play, and it wasn't because of basketball, like you said. Like same thing you said. Yeah, it was because of that. Who recruiting who? And to me, you just doing a disservice for a kid. You're doing a disservice for anybody who's trying to, like, thank God, New York City gave me all my connections and my relationships. Because I could have transferred went to another college, and I was like, you know what? Because my aunt passed my senior year, I'm gonna graduate. I'm done with school. I'm gonna make sure I graduate. And I went home and just. That's when everybody got the wrath of me, and I became All-Star, MVP in Rucker Park. That year, I think I averaged 40 and everything. I was pissed. You know, I was high. I was high off of anger. You know, and that's when everybody sort of mean me, and I was just talking crazy to everybody. That whole 99 on when they started me on the mixtape, and I wanted all the smoke because I was living off the high of being pissed off of my college career being robbed from me from an immature man. Wow. You know. So, and to me that.
Nah, go ahead.
Nah, but that's why I do what I do, and like I think you do what you do. I tell people all the time, I'll take all the kids. I'll teach you how to learn. Like I said, it's in the Bible. You know, you teach a man how to fish. You know, he live forever and learn how to eat. Yeah. You know, but if you don't teach him how to fish, you always do it for him. He'll never figure it out. And we grew up in an era we had to figure it out. You know, so. And I just been blessed that, you know, I've been protected by God, and I had a lot of people in my life that came through. I tell everybody, the basketball community is hilarious. Like, from all of them came on here today, snuck in here, DC, I saw them sneak in here, all of them. Like, they raised me, and when I messed up, they checked me. Because, you know, my brothers was in jail, because I have brothers that ran the streets and all that stuff, so they was in jail, they wasn't around me. And, you know, I ain't had no real big men figure. My men figures was the basketball guys. So I seen the worst. You know, we all seen the worst guy that was really nice. I seen the guys who did a whole bunch of dumb stuff. I seen the guys that were successful. So, you know, I tell you, I'm always a watcher. So I watch them fail. I ain't gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that.
That don't work.
That don't work. But at the same time, you know, it to be 45 and be able to do what I'm doing and still love what I'm doing. It's a blessing of God, but it's also a lesson learned through all our downs and ups of this basketball world. I tell everybody, I would never change anything about the sport that I play because it saved me. It saved me. It saved me time and effort, and it kept me out of stuff that we know we'd have been caught up in if we didn't do it.
Yo, what did my man?
Uh-oh.
Yo, bro, bro. I'm gonna send it to you. I don't know if you can see it. He got Marcus Garvey in there with you, fam, and with a message on there. Got you with your braids and also another picture. It's like 3 pictures in one on here, fam.
Tell him I said thank you. Tell him I need to put that on. I need to put that up on the crib.
People without knowledge of the past history and culture is like a tree without roots.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Listen, when I told you, yo, my guy was very excited, and I know what he does. This is, yeah, I'm gonna send this. I'm sending this to you right now, sir. You'll get this
tell him that when I get back to the crib, tell him to shoot me his address and the what's name, the picture I sent you of the rim with me with the rim.
Yeah.
They did that a poster size for me. I'm gonna sign that to him and send it to him.
Oh, yeah, please send two. Definitely.
Okay, I got it.
I'm in the process of remodeling the studio. We going into season 3 and a few more shows, so definitely want to make sure I have that in there. But I want to make sure I send this so I don't forget. You got it in your DM. All right. So
yes, sir.
Let's run through this real quick, right? Because you had a lot of fire. You came back home. You played in the leagues, all the tournaments. But let's talk about that New York Knicks Summer League, right? Because I always tell people, I always want to know. And I tell people, I don't care if it was Summer League, a 1-year contract, a 10-day contract, 5 days, 7 days. Right now, I was able to go interview guys into the Knicks locker room. It would just mean so much, right? And I hear people talking all the time. He didn't make it. He only stayed this amount of time. But you did none of that. You get what I'm saying? So when I hear our guys who get to play on the level and experience it, I want to know what it's like.
It was incredible. I first of all, you know, I'm a diehard Knicks fan. So,
you got the colors on, man.
Yeah. I don't have my hat over there, my Knicks hat over there. I'm over there. And, you know, we did better this year, made the playoffs, but you know, I'm happy we back in the playoffs. And it's crazy because, you know, young Obi dad, big Obi, played with me.
Bushwick, definitely.
Yeah, you know, so I remember kicking a little Obi off the court all the time. We about to play games. Get your boy off the court. So, you know, I'm happy he on the team. But I'll tell everybody, it was. I actually had 3 trials. I had a private trial for Indiana, and then I had another workout for Boston, private one, and then I had with no agent, and then I got the Knicks thing through another opportunity through somebody I knew, and there was nobody. I'll tell you right now, nobody knew how me get that, but one person. Like none of my coaches, any of that. That was all, you know, just the grace of God. Somebody helped me get it, and I walked in it. And I'll tell everybody, it was almost like surreal because my coaching staff was crazy.
Did you have to pay?
No, I got paid to be there. Nah.
So, people, I want to let you know, if you don't get an invite or you don't get drafted, a lot of guys pay to play. Yeah. I mean, pay to try out.
Yeah, I ain't never paid for a trial for anything I did basketball-wise.
That's dope, man. That's
USBL, ABA, all of them playing for God rest his soul. With my man Chocolate Thunder playing for God rest his soul. I played for him. We didn't pay for none of that stuff because, you know, that's why we work on our skills, so we don't have to pay. But when I walked in, my first day in camp, I walked in and, you know, the GM is Isaiah Thomas. The assistant coach, the head coach is Lenny Wilkins. A lot of these guys don't know who these guys really are.
Lenny Wilkins, New York City great, boys high great. Yes, NBA legend.
50 greatest. So my coaching staff is Isaiah Thomas, Lenny Wilkins, Mark Aguirre, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And look, the weakest guy of the group, who's not a weak guy at all, was Herb Williams.
Yes, and Herb kept no matter who got fired.
Yep.
No matter who got fired.
Great dude. And I tell everybody, I said I was in camp. I was playing I'll tell you about, I was mad I got cut at the end because they brought in, people don't know, when I got let go, Andre Barrett was in camp with me. So it was me, Andre Barrett, Brett Nelson that went to Florida. We definitely should have made over him. He wasn't that good. Andre made it to the last one, but they signed, Isaiah left and signed Jamal Crawford. People forgot about that. He brought in Jamal Crawford. He brought in Moochie Norris. He should have kept either me or Andre, but he didn't. Andre wound up going back to Houston. But it was cool. But I tell you, I played Isaiah Thomas almost every day one-on-one. He's trying to take everybody lunch money and redress. Like, we play one-on-one every day. He's always like, show me something. And I shook him out his shoe.
While he was in the suit, and
he used to come in like a little, you know how he's dressed in little jeans and stuff, wearing shoes on.
Sweats. Okay, cool.
He used to have jeans on. He shot this dude from Temple. I forgot his name. He just take money. He take money from him all the time. I watched Isaiah Thomas hit 10 in a row. Like, it's shoot for that money. I ain't gonna say the money amount was, you know, they be talking about it. But they shoot him for the money for lunch money, and he rained him. He said, you can't shoot. You need to work on your jump shot. He's telling us that who's trying out. He just rained him. You know, we grew up watching him. I'm like, yo, you know, you ain't talking. I'm talking to myself.
You forget sometimes.
Like, in my first time in practice, the news reporter was there. And they was talking about who was there. And they was talking about who I was. And he came up to me. I was minding my bed. Andre Barrett was sitting there. He's watching it. He walks me. He shoved the ball in my stomach. It was like, let me see something. Like, what you mean let you see something? And they were like, oh, everybody over there standing over there. He get a defensive stand. So I'm like, and my mom going, you the GM. If I really kill you, you're gonna cut me before the ball hit the bottom through the net. So he pushed it on me, and we cool this day. When he see me, he showed me so much love. So he get it, he squared me up. I put the ball down hard. I in out him, went take a step forward, and then went behind my back. In out behind my back, he took off that way. And I was holding the ball, spinning it. Everybody was like, oh. I was like, Isaiah, you ain't ready for this. Then he came back, I shot a jump shot and went in. He's like this. He's like, you can't do that with your right hand like Pistol Pete. I said, first of all, don't compare me to Pistol Pete. Yes, he's a great, but he don't do it with one hand. I can do it with both, and I showed him with both hands.
All right.
Wow. I'm like, I actually know the game. I was at that time. I ain't a player. I know the game. He's one-handed. Like, he's do all that stuff with one hand. I said, I can do it either hand, sir, and I'm actually left-handed. So, and he laughed at it, and we was cool after that. But I tell everybody, we play every day, and he used to push us. And, you know, he's still a competitor. He's still super competitive when we was in camp. And Mark McGuire was, too. I watched Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I used to come early to get my work in, try to get extra work in. I watched him. I watched Kareem Abdul-Jabbar go free throw line extended, elbow to elbow, had somebody rebounding for him because he worked out before. He was doing sky hooks, hitting 11 in a row, left hand, right hand. 1, 2, right hand. 1, 2, left hand.
That is the one person I would love to interview.
He's so hard to get in contact with. I had his number at one point, like 10 years ago.
Down, him, Tiny. I'm trying to track them all down, man, because I know, you know, those guys' story are documented someplace, right? But then you got a lot of you guys' stories that years later, we're talking about years, many years later, when they're writing the basketball history in New York City, at least we gonna get the history from you guys' mouths. Yet the other day I had Gary Irvin on, and I posted something that I found online. It was some misinformation. So G hit me up. I was like, damn, G, I was 27, not 7. Where did you get this? I said, I got this. And I showed him the place. And it was the professional team that he played for, but they had the wrong information. Right? So now you get the, I'm going to fix it, but now you get the, this is why telling this story is so important. Telling your own story.
Now,
people always going to miss something.
And I tell people all the time, a lot of times I let a lot of stuff go. I don't do a lot of interviews because, you know how it go. Whatever you say, people gonna say what they want to say. And I learned a long time in my life, you know, my aunt told me this before she passed. People gonna talk about you, good and bad. When they stop talking about you, then you worry about it. He said, other than that, you continue doing what you're doing. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna talk regardless. That's basically what he was saying. So if you're doing good, they're going to talk about you. If you're doing bad, they're going to talk about you. So why worry about it? And I told myself, like, you know, so I wish I'd have took the way people are doing it now, all the pictures. I've been blessed to be around kings and queens and all stuff. But I never was a picture guy. And I tell people all the time, like, because I grew up around old school dudes. Don't take pictures of me. You know why? Like, so I grew up in that way. Like, I never want to impose nobody. Like, hey, take a picture with me. I never did that because at the end of the day, I grew up around guys that you don't need to do all that. You my boy, you my boy. You don't need to take a picture. So when I was around the Shaqs and all them guys, I never said, yo, let's get the picture together. Because that was me respecting their privacy. I wish I did all that, like being around.
Yo, I'm still this way. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, right? In order for me to take a picture with you, right? And this is just no knock to anybody else. This is all respectfully. I really have to know you. This is just me. It's just me. You get what I'm saying? I really have to kind of know. And again, it's that respect thing. But now that I have this platform, I'm loosening up a lot more than I did in the past, right? Because I told you, I've been in the music industry. I've done a lot of things in different lives, and I know what it's like, right? So this is why I created this platform. I created this platform. I was inspired. I used to always give Nori a hard time for the Lamar Odom interview, but this was actually inspired by Drink Champs because I'm a big fan of Drink Champs. But when I saw Lamar Odom on there, I just felt we needed a platform for our basketball brotherhood to come on and feel safe without feeling like somebody's going to talk about the negative.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? So when we're talking about your ex-teammate and those things that happen behind the scenes, right? I told him, yo, we're not talking about none of that. We don't do that. Not on this platform.
No.
You get what I'm saying? Now, y'all can do that somewhere else. I don't care about the negative stuff. The first time I heard about you was through basketball. The first time I heard about Lamar Odom was through basketball.
I remember Lamar too. Woo.
You get what I'm saying? And I don't think, again, I'm finding out more Nori was a ball player, right? Because I had Capone up here, and I explained this to Capone. Yo, bro, I want to holler at Nori. This is just some real stuff. You guys come from the fabric of New York City basketball. And I'll tell you, if you get a chance to go down my page and watch Capone, or you could wait for it to come on YouTube, either way. But when you hear Capone talk, you know he was a ball player because he was talking about people, places, and things that only we know. Like you see how we never hung out before.
Nope.
We never had a long, drawn-out conversation, but somehow we connect on so many different levels and know so many different people in same places.
Yep. Basketball's a fraternity.
So that's and I tell people this is our platform. So whenever you have something and you want to come on this platform and talk about it, we're going to do it. For example, Omar Cook, brother, I had him on the show. Shamik, he has a book, Southside Hustler, right? And he's turning it into, they're turning this into a movie. My man gave me the script.
Wow, congratulations.
He is a fancy baller. He a New York City ball player.
Yep.
Right? We have Laura Milley. She wrote Psyche of the Injured Athlete. This is all our people.
Yep.
Look at Shamik.
Wow. Look at Shamik.
You know what I'm saying? So and you write your book, and you coming back on, and we're gonna promote it the same way. Now this young lady, LaVon Galloway, she's on my committee, right? We fixed up Brevoort Park. She's from Brevoort. We all from here, and she wrote a book called Good Vibes Only. It's a journal inspired, by our mother. Wow. She didn't play basketball. She's on my committee. We kind of help kids play basketball and do all those fabulous things. So we like to promote all of these things that people are doing related to basketball. So whenever and whoever you want to invite, yo G, because you get to nominate someone.
Okay.
Right? All my guests, this is how we do it. Either I reach out and I try not to reach out too much, especially ones like I reach out to a few. But the majority, 99% of my guests come from my guest nominating people to be on the show, because it's the brotherhood, sisterhood, right? So I'm gonna get you over here because we've been talking for a long time, but I have a few more questions, if you don't mind.
Okay, no, go ahead. We knock them out.
So we never talked about how you hooked up with N1.
Oh man.
You talked about the poster and all that. How did you hook up with them?
There's a short version. I came home, I was playing, that's the year I was playing everything 99, and I was getting buckets everywhere and just being me, trying to create that opportunity for me to go pro. Right. And they were looking to do the mixtape, and then George Starks in 92nd Street Y, he called me like, I got this guy I want you to meet. And I went down there, and it was a dude named Seth Free and Peter Smalls that were looking at for N1, looking to get some guys and create like a little tour team and go around and do it. And he was like, yeah, we thinking about you. And then they came in and shot me a little bit in the park. And when I played in one of the games, and we went up to N1, and then we grabbed a couple other guys, Malloy, and at that time, Kraft Ferguson, that played in Mexico.
Yeah, from
Jackson. My big bro. He actually played with me in 55th with the team I was playing with them when I had my own team. So he played with me on that team. Then we got Half Man, and then Wally got the other crews, and we went with 6 guys up there, and we signed the deal, and then the rest is history. But it came from me just playing, and people knowing me and knowing who I was, because they knew that I had that ability.
How did N1 benefit you as a player at the time?
It's mixed. I think fame wise, it helped me a lot. Pro wise, it hurt me more than it helped me. And I tell people all the time, like, if I can sell the fame, I'll sell it in a heartbeat. I said, because everywhere I went, I had to prove I can play the game of basketball. Even though I played in college and was successful in college and high school and all that, they didn't see that. So when I played in Iran, they was like, oh, you're not that good. So my first game, I had to have 50 because I had to show them, like, I can play, but all the kids in the stand.
Iran. You're not talking about the Super League, fam.
Yeah. So and they was like, oh, okay, he can play. But that was the stereo, but they didn't understand, the way what we call street ball, our era, is different than what they call street ball now. It's totally different, and it's not what it is now. It's a bunch of soft kids trying to play, outside basketball, and they don't understand that it was totally different, when we played. So that was some of the biggest thing. And then, financially, I got a BA in marketing, minor in accounting. So I got an AA in advertising communication. So, I got 2 degrees, and I'm like this. When I work with N1, I'm like, yo, I know what I'm talking about. I helped them with a lot of their marketing program, and a lot of stuff they did. But, you got to pay us the way you want me to help you. You pay everybody else for this, so let's get paid. And then to me, that's the other part that didn't really help us, because at the end of the day, if you become rich, you should bring me along with you. And they didn't want to do that. And I'll step away. I'll step away from anything that ain't right for me, so, and I don't have a problem doing that. But that to me, that was some of the downfalls of it. And there's other avenues that kind of help propel that when it comes to teammates and stuff like that, us sticking together. It's a lot of things that could have changed that would have made it work a lot easier, because, I foretell a lot of the stuff that happened because I know business. I knew how it was going to turn out, and I try to, warn people and fix it. But when you not have knowledge, you become a target.
Yes. Because you don't play on what Kwame Brown calls the go along, get along game.
Yeah. And that's been my whole career. I've never been that guy. So,
it don't work in the end, and people really don't respect you. They act like they respect you, but they don't. Now I'm thinking, if another sneaker company comes around with a similar formula, it's N1, do you think the ballers will ask for a stake in the company as opposed to a check, or which is not bad, we're not knocking a check, or they would just, act for the business stake or act for the check? Which one you think these guys would do after seeing what happened to the group that A1 produced?
The way this era is, I think they ask for the check, because this era is about I call it the add water and stir era. They want the glamour before the work, you know, and that hurts a lot of people, you know, like the work come before the glamour. There's no other way around it, and you know, and if you respect the game will take care of you, you know. So and to me, I think business wise, I would do both. I would want to check for my time, and I want it parceled out into a stake in the company. At the end of the day, you should pay me for my work, but then you should also give me opportunity to help you build, because I'm helping you build something. So it should be a dual thing, you know, because there's little things. Like I tell people all the time, like, and the business part, you can't be mad at them because they was just doing business the way everybody else do business, with how they treat us, how they treat our community. So when you say I got, you know, $20,000 worth of gear I can get, and you charge me at retail, you know, you ain't doing me a favor.
Not at all. Not at all. Did you hear about the Spencer Haywood story?
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, Spencer Haywood was the best basketball player in 1973, had the fine lady, Iman. She was the top model. And this little company called Nike approached him and said to him, "Sir, you are the best player in the NBA. We would like you to wear our sneaker. We will give you 10% of the company, which is worth over $4 billion right now." Or, he didn't know that, $100,000 check.
To the check.
70s. Spencer Haywood was, they was,
yeah,
you know, cool guys. He took the check. Of course, the agent gonna say take the check because he get a percentage of the check. He's not gonna give a percentage of the percentage they're gonna give him.
Yep.
Craziest move. By the way, my guy, Christopher Hooks. He said, "What's up?" Say, "Yo, tell my guy." Say, "Yo, I was on the road with him with the Wizards. That's my guy. Please tell him I said what's up."
See Hooks, my guy too.
and he's doing fine. He's doing fine. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, he's doing fine. All right. Now, about to get you out of here. Who is your toughest competition in New York City?
Everybody be mad when I say anybody, but I've been blessed to play against 3 generations a lot. I played since I was 14 to probably like 36, playing against a lot of guys. And, you know, playing against Rod wouldn't probably consider me his tough competition, but like Rod and Mark. But like one of the guys I played against that was my era that everybody know, I got to play against Andre Miller. And I think, you know, people don't, I played against him in college, and people don't know that dude was tough.
Mr. Triple-double himself?
I tell everybody laughed when I said I didn't like his NBA game.
Who did? He had the most boringest game, but most effective.
Not because of that, because he started focusing on scoring. In college, when I play against him, because he played against us every year, he used to get like 18, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, like four steals, and be calm, and be smooth. You couldn't get a turnover from him. Like he was just tough. Like it wasn't nothing flashy. It was just straight to the point. It was just straight to the point.
That's
like,
an awesome one.
Yeah, like, you know, so like, because not everybody want to pick a New York dude, because I played against Sham. Sham was tough. Steph was tough. But just, you know, I played against Iverson, was definitely tough. I played against Iverson when he was in high school playing. We went down to playing Boo Harvey.
You played against Bubba Chuck.
Bubba Chuck, yeah. I call him Bubba Chuck. Everybody like, who that? So I always gotta say Iverson. I played against Bubba Chuck. And
were you playing in Boo Williams? You playing in the Boo Williams tournament or just the size?
Yes, Boo Williams tournament.
Gotcha.
And I didn't know who he was. I didn't know who he was, and found out how fast he was in person. And found out that he before he was obviously with Bubba Chuck, and he was an athlete.
The best athlete in Virginia because he was the #1 basketball player and #1 football player. Michael Vick and those guys used to look up to him.
Yep. And on his team, he had him. He had my man, the black Chinaman that played at Wake Forest. That's my dude. And him and Brunson, they had a stacked team. Like it was crazy. Like,
what year did you get selected to the Rucker Legend Park Hall of Fame?
I don't even know. I wouldn't when they did it. I don't even know. Like, I ain't even signed the plaque yet because I ain't been there yet. Because I've been moving.
Okay, because they just had it. I was out there.
Yeah. So I actually was out there the day of it because I shot the commercial for the thing for the redoing the whole park. So that's on my page. I flew in. I had to fly back out because I had to get back to practice. Gotcha. So I flew in and flew out, and then they had that right after that.
Congratulations, fam.
Yeah, thank you.
I was up there documenting the whole thing, man, definitely. And if you want to see it, it's on my YouTube page. I have the whole thing up there. It was awesome. And what made you start the Headache Foundation in 2004? And me, I've been working in the school for over 20 years, brother. So what you doing says a ton about your character.
Yeah, I worked in New York City for 15 years and teaching and stuff like that. So when I come home from overseas and stuff like that, I just go and teach. Everybody's be like, well, why are you here teaching? I said, because somebody did it for me.
That's right.
My grandma, yep. And then she was like, why work all these other hard jobs when you got a gift to, help kids? So I started doing that, the after school stuff. But in 2004, I started a foundation just because it was a reach out for me. And I'm one of the few dudes, and all the guys on N1 tape will tell you this, I'm the reason why they gave the checks to the YMCAs and all that. Because I told them in my contract, I said, look, if we don't, any city we go to, and we don't go to a group home or some type of that deal with at-risk youth, I don't want to do it because I was at-risk youth. I grew up without my parents. I grew up in the system. So if you're not gonna help them out, because those are the ones who are gonna save money, beg for money to get what we have. So if we're not gonna get back to them and make them benefit from it, then I'm not going to do this. And then we started giving out the little checks to the YMCAs and stuff like that in the inner cities and stuff like that, because that's always been my goal. Because we was at a game one time and a young lady stayed online the whole time and she peed on herself, and her mom was frustrated, and we all went inside. And I think me and Aya was out, because what I did was on the autograph thing, I get out the line, I get from behind the table and I walk down the whole line. I'm signing everybody. My security guard hated me for this. I just walked down the whole line and signed everybody to the last person because they paid for us to be there. And that was my thing. Like, they paid for us, and we ran to the meet.
It tells a lot about your character. This is what I'm saying.
So me and Escalade and Ayo was walking down the line signing, God rest his soul.
Yes.
And, so we walking down the line, and little mom come up and said, oh, she really want a hot sauce autograph. She got to go to the bathroom. Can you get him? So we went to him, come back up and sign. We got her a shirt and stuff like that. And she's like, yo, and she said this to us, said, none of the trailblazers, we was in Portland, none of the trailblazers will ever do this at this time. And, so we really appreciate it. And to me, it hurt me. So I actually spent money to create an autograph card, which I have still some of them left now, that I created to give out during the autographs. Because I got tired of watching kids that didn't have come up with a little piece of paper and say, can you sign this? So I created my own autograph card, left enough space so all the guys can save it. But on my side, I had my picture and my website, and I gave it out to them so that way they can have it. And then I was starting to create stuff to do camps and stuff. But, when I wanted to do camps, and I tried to force N1 to invest in my camps, and so I can get back to the kids, which would have been not a lot of money, but it made them look good. They didn't want to do it because it's, it's not their idea and it's not them.
First of all, let's make some noise for you creating your own card for kids can write their autograph on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's big right there. That's being thoughtful. You get what I'm saying? You being thoughtful, you being a kid, coming up from the upbringing that you had, and knowing that, I was one of those kids. Somebody took the time to think, and that's when we talk about grown men being real grown men.
Yep. And I mean, and in the day, that kid gonna always remember that. I'll leave you with this one. and I tell everybody I laugh about it. So Pat called me one day. I'm in Orlando. He called me like, "Yo, can you go see Quinn Cook and talk to him? You know, he have Quinn Cook that played in the league, got champion Quinn. That's my guy."
Okay.
Like, and I never knew how he knew me. So this is why I always tell people, always treat everybody the way you want to be treated. Long story short, I'm in Bahamas doing a celebrity game a long time ago. I meet a young kid in the airport with his mom with a basketball. And they went to the game, they saw it, and he's like, can I have your autograph? And I stopped what I was doing to sign an autograph, talk to him, like, yo, make sure I hear about you. I said, work hard so I can hear about you. I want to hear about you. Fast forward to 2 years ago when my young boy Patrick Rock called me to go talk to him. And Quinn was like, yo, I remember when you signed my ball for me in Bahamas. You remember my little kid? I was like, yeah. I was like, if I was a a-hole then, what happened? What happened? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
You're
like,
definitely getting it. It's so crazy because he would have let you know now that he's up.
yeah. Yeah. Like, and I'm able to still have a conversation with him and be like, yo, like I talk to him probably like at least once, twice a month when we talk on Instagram. I'm like, yo, you need to fix this. You need to do this. You need to do that. I can have that conversation with him because the respect factor is there. You know, like, and he know I don't want nothing from him. You know, I ain't like, oh, you need to do this. You know how I go. I don't need nothing from you. God took care of me. I'm fine. You know, like, so, you know, and then he's like, and when we talk all the time, when I talk to him how y'all talk to me when I was young. Like, yeah, that's nice, but you not on the team right now because of this and this and this and this. Like, and he listens because it ain't coming from a place of malice. It's coming from a place of, you know, I want to see you do great. And to me, I try to teach all our young kids now, like, you treat everybody with equal respect because you never know who they are or who they're going to be.
So this brings me to you being in the WNBA.
Yeah, blessing.
Hold on, fam. Like, when I was just like, how many things this dude gonna do? You know, you're already running the foundation. You go around the country speaking to people, train people, inspire people, and now you're gonna do it with some women who are professionals on the highest level. Man, let's make some noise for that, man. This is so dope, yo. This is dope.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've been around.
How did that opportunity come about?
Same thing.
So much, yo.
Look, one, definitely God. Two, relationship building. You know, I knew Vicki Johnson forever. You know, I've been around the Liberty forever with Teresa Weatherspoon, my big sis, and all of them. I used to help train out with them and all that back then. We used to train heavy, 8 hours a day, getting our workout in, being in shape, getting shots up. If they need me, I came and help them out. You know, just building that relationship. They became family. And then, you know, she always been talking about, like, you know, I was coaching junior college. I coached in junior college, won champ. I'm probably one of the first coaches in junior college at Cincinnati State to win a guys and girl championship the same year, taking 2 teams to the national champ. So I actually had that on my website with a picture of both. So I win both times, and we lost in the championship game against the #1 team for the girls, and we lost in the second round with the guys. But I was on assistant coach on both staff. My girls shot 40-some% from 3. Just, you know, that relation, you know, we talk about relationship building, and, you know, 2 people in my life that I have relations with, they didn't forget about me. You know, they're like, because, you know, this whole game is about relationships. But in the day, it's about how good you are, what you do in your craft, and your trustworthiness. And I just think that, you know, God put me here and put us together to do that. And when she got the opportunity to bring me on, she brought me on because she knows what I'm bringing to the table. It ain't no foolery. It ain't nothing crazy. You know, man of God, family man. I don't have nothing I need to gain from it. You know, I'm about that work. So, and then that kind of helped me, you know, so.
Yo, congratulations to you on that, my brother. My last show, which I rarely forget this, we didn't get to do top five.
Oh, Lord.
Top five. Here we go.
Oh, Lord.
All right. This may cause some problems, man. I need the top 5 players you played with.
Dang.
This always steers it up. This always steers it up.
Hold on. You got to narrow it down for me. You got to narrow it down for me.
No,
like,
you
high school.
Yo, you had like a 30-year basketball career, fam. Like, you got to pick 5. This is your top 5, top 5, top 5.
Yeah. I played with a lot of dudes that was good.
That's what make the top 5 team great, Daddy.
Woo!
Now,
I'm gonna
come back to that. I'm gonna throw an easy one out first, because I'm gonna have you think about this. I know you're a smart man. You left-handed. You can work with both sides of your brain. Okay. Top 5 MCs all time.
Ooh, I'm biased too. Big, Jay, Nas, Rakim. Ooh. Who I leave out? I'm battling between 3 right now.
This is
Lyrically,
the easy one, fam.
huh?
This is the easiest one. You got Big, Jay, Nas, Rakim.
I'm trying to think.
Who's going here?
I put Pac, but lyrically, I rock with like 2. Like literally, I love Jada.
Third base. Say word. Third base. Big up to third base. Pete Nice. Listen,
yeah, Pete Nice.
My guy.
I know it.
Pete Nice played for Columbia University, right? He played, and he was on the Empire State team with me, Boo Harvey, Ross Strickland, Derek Chivas, Darryl Middleton, Dwayne, Shake Martin from Above the Rim.
You know I know them with the hollows. You know I know all. I know Shake. I talk to Shake all the time.
All of us was on one team, and Pete Nice used to say, "Yo, I'm gonna become a rapper. Look, I got Russell Simmons and LL number." We was like, "Yeah, get out of here. Come on, Pete."
Hey, that's how we do basic cam.
If anybody go on a third base first album, he has the whole team names in the back of the album.
That's dope. Look, in that case, I got to put my guys then. Cause I go Mason Cam. Look, I got to put Mason Cam on it. Right. Because I'm on both of their first albums, and you know, Mason's only the first artist to go triple platinum his first time out.
That's awesome. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who can say that? How many other ball players besides the one that played with them that can say that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can go into some more hip hop stuff too, right?
There's a lot of hip hop dudes that can play.
Check this out. Your fellow ball player once rapped on the radio with Jay-Z and Black Thought from the Roots on the underground. Black Thought the Roots, we did that at NYU radio station, and with Jay-Z and Big Daddy Kane up in Stretch Barbito's show.
My boy Barbito. Shout out to my man Barbito.
Is my guy. He got me in Above the Rim. He got me in a Nike commercial. Barbito's the basketball god.
I'm making you laugh. We're supposed to be in Above the Rim. Me and Rich. Me, Rich, and Cam. Cause you know where they shot it at, right?
I was there. I'm on the purple team. I got a couple of walk-bys.
So they told us we couldn't do it because we was in high school, and they shot at Manhattan Center, and they went up in the garden part, and they told we couldn't be in the movie and get a check because I was so mad about that.
Definitely. The summer part was shot in 155th, and it was in the winter.
Yep. I remember that.
In the summer. You thought it was the summer, like going into like October, November, around that time. Okay. Top 5 record player all time.
Top 5 record players all time? Cool. I'm going my man Strick. Franchise. Going with that made the most noise out there. Out of New York City, AI used to come all the time. AI, you know.
Hold on. Did he always play with a chain on, fam, or did he get serious one time? Did anybody like make him get serious?
He ain't never played a chain on against me because that wouldn't happen.
Oh, fam, right.
Look, he ain't playing when he play against us because I don't know who he say play chain on. He ain't play that shit against us because
there's a video. There's a video of him in 55th playing with a chain on, like a dude's like.
Anyway. That must have been a commercial because when he played against us, my team was stacked. It was me, Mike Campbell, Conrad McCray, Dana Dingle, Dante Brighton. We had a crew. Mike Campbell. Like we had a crew. Kenny Satterfield, the young Kenny Satterfield, straight out of Rice.
Yes.
Losing Isaiah. We were stacked that year. We lost a championship game to I'll Be Right Back.
Makes sense.
To Posse. We lost to Posse that year, championship game, and I couldn't play. That's when I had my foot in the cast. Look, and Kenny
all kinds of shit happened to you, man.
And we played hard. We played hard back in the day. It didn't stop us.
Yeah, you didn't have an injury. You wasn't playing.
I'm going with my favorite. I love Conrad McCray.
Yes.
God rest his soul. Doogie.
Yes.
Turn.
No, we got just one legend. They real legends for real. Woo.
Just
okay.
And like my honorable mention, I say Master Rob. I'll mention Master Rob. Just get because it's so many.
He the one that kind of roared 55th back.
Yeah, like just him, the way he taught me some things playing against him, how to orchestrate and how to get people open, called by throwing them open and stuff like that. Watching him, Mark Jackson, Rod, just like them guys, and then Sam Worthing, like they had a gift. Just that you seen them in person, like they just had a gift.
Who was Mo Black? Somebody. Tebow.
Oh, Mo Black. Oh, Tebow. That's Troy. That's Troy Bowers. You know Troy Bowers played in Boston.
Oh, what up, Troy? What's up? Yeah. What up, T? He said he need one of those autograph cards too.
He gonna call me later. He got me on speed dial, so he can act like that. Look.
Troy, holla at me. We need to talk. Definitely. Okay. Now we're gonna go back to the top 5 players you played with.
You gonna put me on a spot like that? Somebody gonna be mad, yo. Hey, I always say this. My best 2 guard ever to play with was Rich Parker.
Rich Parker was so nice with it, yo, bro. So nice. Rich, would you take a picture with your poster, please?
Look, hey, I tell everybody this, and anybody who deny this, they lying. Hands down, without all the other bull, if it didn't happen, league easy. It's not a kid in New York City. I don't care in that era can touch Rich. Period. That's elite. Anybody. And I ain't saying that I play with both.
No, I've seen it.
I'm talking about, and we call him Sleepy for a minute. He looked like he was willing to give you 30, and you blink, he reverse dunked on you, and just gave you
the business. Dunk. He got the dunk. It don't look like he's dunking on you.
Nope.
Man. And he could shoot that thing. And he had the mid-range.
He had the mid-range, he shoot the deep, and he could post up.
Yeah.
Like, I tell people all the time, they're like, nah. I said, listen to me.
No. I agree.
Anybody who's seen him play, he won't, because I was in Riverside practice when Dean Smith walked in to see him.
Right. Who's this?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Scotland? Who that? Somebody, one of your.
Somebody
came wrong. So like, yo. So, and I know he had the whole country in a frenzy.
Yes. I told everybody, I said, when that happened, his junior year, he was going to be a McDonald All-American. The first junior to be a McDonald All-American. Facts. He's going to be the first junior And you know, you can look it up and find it. They took all that away from him. He's gonna be the first Junior McDonald American. That's how much he was killing.
That would have been legendary.
No, I tell everybody, I said he was like unstoppable. Like nobody. I don't care what everybody say in New York City. Nobody. Like no. Look, hands down, nobody. I've seen a lot. Like I played with him. I watched everybody try to stop. You've seen it, like try to stop him since he was young. Just,
and he took a little back seat playing with Charles and Mike.
Yeah.
So you have when you're good and you could do that and still keep your mental aspect about yourself, that makes you great and legendary.
Yeah, no, he was. I tell everybody, he's a monster. Him, okay. I only play with him, but I give him a lot of kudos, and I think he get the respect from us, but not like that. Like Jerry McCullough.
Yes.
Monster. Ice was a monster.
Hold on. I think I played against his brother.
Which one?
That I gotta see. I have the picture here. Hold on. Cause I keep getting those guys confused. Hold up. Oh, by the way, this is an FIT.
Wow, that's you.
Yeah, that's FIT right there. Where is the stand? Because I have a picture with me and me playing defense on him. Hold up before I get you out of here. Because I always say Al, and I always say, and I get them wrong. And I'm saying, because there's so many of them.
Yeah, it is a lot of them.
Hold on.
And Troy is right. Troy put up there Richie Adams. But I ain't play against Richie Adams.
I played with Richie Adams, but, you know, not in their era. Like, I was a young guy. Me, Speedy, Williams.
And they're like, he's like Sweet Pea. I said, I can't.
It was Al, but Al wasn't the man. Tracy Murray was the man.
Wow. Tracy Murray. I remember, it was stacked.
Al is right here, right behind me, trying to send a pic for Tracy, but it's too late.
Wow.
So that when I hear those names, Jerry McCullum, yes, for sure. Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Yo, Troy, need you on the show, fam. We need to holler. All right. Before I get out of here, you got to do this. Everybody does it. Top 5 New York City players all time.
Whew. Oh, they don't really be mad at me now. You know, like I'm going almost all guards, yo. Like, look, hey, you gotta go Kenny A. You gotta go Mark Jackson. You gotta go Rod. I'm going to era that I seen. You would say Tiny and all them, but that's not an era I seen. So I
never saw Tiny either. And Tiny only played 1 year high school basketball. Incredible. Yeah. He was eligible the rest of the years. Incredible.
Like, I would say Kareem, but I can't say Kareem because I ain't see Kareem play high school basketball and stuff like that. So you can't, but he can because of the stuff that he did, you know, but that's like here and there. Like, I give him that because he's a Harlem dude. So, you know, I give Kareem to him. And then I say Kenny, say Rob, Mark, and then all time. Like I really like, man, Mash was a monster, yo.
And like, he had the body of a teenager with a whole bunch of body fat. Still killing dude.
Yo, people hate when I said this, and I told them this. I said everybody when they said like they call LeBron, they talk, oh, you know LeBron is. I said LeBron would never want to see Mash. I said they're the same size, and Mash had way more skill. Like, but you know,
if LeBron had Mash skill, then I would think about the argument of him being on Jordan's level. or Kobe's level. Other than that, nah, he's still a solid, probably top 10 or top 5. But he's not up in the Kobe and Mike's. No.
Look, I said everybody. I said they so disrespectful. I said he can't be in the top 3 because shit. Truthfully, Kareem Jabbar. I tell everybody this. Kareem Jabbar is the best NBA player ever lived because 2 reasons. Only 2 reasons why. And me and Troy talked about the other day. People don't. There's people that don't talk basketball. Kareem Jabbar is still leading the NBA in scoring, right? And he had to get a rebound, hand it to somebody, run down the court, and wait to catch it, and then still lead the league in scoring. So for all them fake, LeBron fans and somebody know basketball, you can't put him in front. You can't put LeBron in front of Kareem.
And he made 90% of his points with 1 shot.
Yes, the hardest shot in the game. A skyhook.
That's it, man. Kareem is the GOAT. He won in high school. He won in college. He won in the pros.
I'm going to give you a better one. He would have won 4 years in college, but when he played, freshmen couldn't play basketball.
3 years. I had Charlie Scott up here, Hall of Famer Charlie Scott. He said, I visited UCLA because I wanted to visit my friend, Lou Alcindor. But once I got down there, I knew I wasn't going there. Yeah, too many more. Then he went and set records at North Carolina, being the first black player ever to play there. So, salute to the legend.
My high school coach, Charles Jackson, we used to tease him. And now that I'm old, I know basketball, we can't tease him. He's like, he played against Lou Alcindor. He was like 6 feet, 6'1". He had to guard Lou. Lou gave him, we know Kendrick Ball gave him 60. And we were, as kids, like, okay, you say, you ain't good. But then when you really know who that dude was, you're supposed to get 60, Coach Jackson. You're right. You're supposed to, yeah.
Well, listen, I'm going to tell you what is. You go on my YouTube page. If you know Paco Screen, his father, Carlton Screen Sr., was one of the only guys. He played for Erasmus High School. Played with the only team that beat Powell Memorial.
Wow.
And he went 9 for 9 that game. And he was this big. He was the guard too.
Yeah.
And that Erasmus team is one of the best teams in New York City history because I think they went undefeated that year.
It's so much it's so much basketball. I'll tell you right.
Listen, I had you on. We've been on 2 hours and a half. It seemed like we only been on an hour. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, basketball's easy.
Listen, Capone, I said, yo, Capone, I've seen a lot of your interviews. I've never seen you like this. He said, yeah, could he be asking the same dumb hip-hop questions all the time? This New York City basketball, baby. And I said, yeah, it's different.
Yeah, totally different. Yeah.
I'm glad that you came on. We finally got a chance to kick it. You are welcome anytime. And I'm not just saying this because you're here. Finish your book. After y'all win the WNBA championship, come back.
Yes, sir. Talk it. We receive it. Talk it. Look. Hope my girls is watching.
That's the only way the Most High gonna listen.
Yeah, yes, sir. Look, we need that. Look, we got some good talent too, so we need that.
For sure, man. Well, listen, brother. You stay blessed. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep making us proud, man. Because while you being in the WNBA, doing your thing with the women over there, it makes all of us look good. So keep doing what you're doing, fam. Appreciate it.
I walk New York City on my back all the time, because we get treated differently.
Yes. Definitely.
Yes, sir.
Definitely. All right,
yeah, have a good one. Thank you. Yes, sir.
And check out your picture, man. It's dope.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look at it. Tell him thank you. I'm gonna send it out. We'll talk.
No doubt.
Yes, sir.
Another amazing show. Never seems to amaze me how much guys are willing to help each other. Hedrick had a lot of help from the basketball community. Not having his parents around, losing his father at a young age, the one that taught him the game. And the basketball community took care of him. Not only the basketball community, the basketball gods blessed him. And he's still marching on to the day in the WNBA with the Dallas Wings. You know what I'm saying? We're proud of you, brother. Keep doing what you're doing, making us proud. We're going to wrap up the show right now. I'm your host, Glenn Pooh Harding, and you've been watching Basketball Heads, baby. Because we are the official home for New York City basketball. Peace.